Okay. Is my audio?
Like, you know, it might.
Good. Alrighty. Okay. Now, yeah. This over here. Over to my YouTube stuff. Okay, cool. Which stuff? Oh god, I have to log back in? That's pretty annoying.
Thought it was only like while he was doing it.
Ugh. I hate when I have to hear the stream. The Twitch is just playing when I open Twitch. Pop out activity feed. Perfect. And then I need this my chat. Oh shit. What the fuck? Now I can pop out chat. Drag it over to here. I really need to set up another monitor like super duper bad. Okay, cool. Now I can do things.
Might get a few laughs. I don't think.
Well. Oh my god. Okie dokie. Okay. No. Get that off there. Alrighty. Well. Ugh. Might have started too late for people to show up. But that's what VODs are for. Oh shit, I didn't finish. I'm gonna tweet that I'm doing this real quick and then I'll be done and just doing it. Oh, there we go. Jesus. Okay, there we go.
I think Stardust.
I completely disagree.
Okay,
with you so far.
that's fine. Let me finish my thing. So I don't think that's a huge deal. I think that like mostly people are like, hey, you call them stupid, whatever, not a big deal. You know what is a big deal?
Hey, like, yeah, just want to stop by for a little bit. Just got a tooth pulled today, so I'm probably falling asleep. Jesus. Which one was it? I've had some nasty tooth
If I said
pulls.
Stardust, you are actually incapable of having this conversation. I'm not sure what it is. Did you finish school? But regardless, I can't have this conversation with you. You've demonstrated
you finish school?
you don't
Come
have
on.
the ability.
If
I say that, that's like, holy shit, Stardust is a fucking moron.
Yeah,
and
so
people
if
walk
I can-
away. That is 10 times worse than just calling them stupid.
If I can
Well, I'm not
also
talking about
add
what's-
something, if I can add something also, saying that like, oh, Stardust, I think you're too traumatized to have this difficult conversation. And if you didn't know that you were too traumatized to have this difficult conversation, even though
Also, it's been a while. Nice to see you back.
my brand is having difficult conversations, you should have told me, Stardust. You should have told me. And you're just so incapable of having this conversation that I'm going to talk to you like I talked to Shaylin. How are these things not painting somebody a certain way? You're weaponizing what you perceive. You weaponized what you perceived was trauma.
I don't think that's what happened. When he talked to Cherry, Cherry was showed a high level of discomfort. He tried to talk to her about it and explain himself, and she was incapable of having that conversation. She kept freaking out and not engaging with what he's saying. So I think it was right. I don't think she could have had that conversation. He was just being very direct about it, and it came off as rude and shitty. Because most people would say that shit as an insult rather than being direct. But if you know Mr. Girl, it's pretty obvious what he's saying. The back right molar, I got my back right molar taken out, fucking sucked. You gotta eat mush for 2 weeks. I'm sorry to hear it.
Trauma for me, and then used it as a weapon against me to discredit me.
Oh,
I don't mean to dogpile.
Okay.
I'm just.
Yeah, well, but you see that you okay. To respond
I've never
to you,
painted you
Stardust.
like that. Nobody,
I don't mean to dogpile, but
nobody here.
Stardust.
I mean, never.
I don't.
Wait a
Please
minute.
don't. Please,
I-
okay. Yes,
I have
Stardust.
not-
You would never
I have
paint me in
not-
a
I have
negative
not-
way that could impact my reputation.
I retracted,
Absolutely
I
not.
retracted my tweet within 1 hour. I apologized
Just because-
twice
okay,
publicly and to you privately. It was a
Okay.
huge mistake. It was a huge mistake. I will never disagree with you on that.
it's
But
not
you
fun.
spent
The doc was good and kept it numb. That's good. When I got mine taken out, my dentist used to be an oral surgeon. So this, I was told that I'd probably need oral surgery on this. He was like looking around and poking at it for like 2 minutes, and then he clamped down on it, and it went crack, crack, like super loud. It was like a gunshot went off next to my head, and he pulled the whole thing out in 2 pieces. There's like 2 pieces of the tooth. And I was like, what a fucking pro. I was like out of there like 30 minutes after signing my name. Thanks, enjoy being here. Haven't caught you in a while. Yeah, I've been not streaming a whole lot, but I have been streaming like all night the last 3 nights. So I'm pretty back for at least a good little while here.
The last few months painting me as emotionally incapable, as some just so fucking traumatized that I can't partake in a normal adult conversation when I've had way more problematic conversations with people, just because I didn't want to cede on one point with you. You didn't want to move the conversation forward. And then because I did what I said I would do, Max, I said that when people push me on these things, I withdraw a bit. And I did what I said what I do. Right, I withdrew a bit.
I don't want to talk about this with you.
I didn't ghost you.
I don't want to talk about this with you.
I don't care. I need to say this.
I don't want to hear it. Stardust, you broke up with me. You sent me a DM saying you don't want to talk to me about this. You asked Steven if you would host a conversation between us. I don't want to talk to you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you have.
This is the stream just before Destiny and Mr. Girl did their last stream together. And it had a bunch of people in it. It's sort of like the it says Civil War in the title of the video, I think, to kind of make a play on like the Avengers, because like everybody showed up from like the DGG sphere.
I'm just saying you have no right.
All the biggest players are like in this video
for painting people a certain way. When you said the last few months,
I think it has like Abba, Dan, Destiny, Mr. Girl, Lav, Brittany Simon, Pixie, Cherry, Stardust. That Dario's there at the end.
Painting me
like Stardust.
a specific way. You painted me as emotionally.
I understand
and
that you
mentally incapable of having a conversation.
I don't want to talk to you about this.
I enforced,
I don't want to talk to you about this.
I withdrew. You discounted everything I've done for you in our friendship, even though I put myself in the fucking line the moment I was friends with you.
This was a year ago. It is extremely difficult to get somebody to understand when you say, I don't want to talk to you, I'm not going to talk to you about this, I don't want to talk to you about this. Some of the biggest fights I've ever had was because of that. People get really nasty when you assert a boundary.
Don't want to talk to you about this.
You have no
I don't want to talk to you about this. I don't want to talk to you about this.
Okay.
I'm willing to be civil in a group conversation with you, but you tried to destroy my life, and because of that, I'm never going to talk to you again.
Tried to destroy. I deleted the tweet again within an hour.
It doesn't matter.
Right?
It doesn't matter.
I deleted it within an hour.
We're done. Stardust, we're done. We're done. Stardust, you and I, it doesn't matter. Nothing you did, nothing.
Well, if you've never called me a pedophile, then I guess we're basically best friends.
You did.
What the fuck?
Of being a Me Too.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like you pulled a gun on me, and you're saying because you put it away without shooting me that it's okay. It's not. We're done.
What did you
and then
do?
you broke up with me. You sent me Stardust. You sent me a DM. You sent me a DM. You sent me a DM.
When you weaponized my trauma against me.
You sent me a DM.
That's not what he did.
For months.
You sent me a DM breaking up with me, and you pulled a gun on me, and because of that, I don't want to talk to you.
Absolutely not. You don't get to. What the fuck is that, Max?
Might be a little too soon to be having this conversation.
Against me for months to discredit me. So you don't get to fucking tell me about what.
Oh yeah, in between this video and the next video, I'm gonna watch the video that you put in my Discord because I think it seems really funny. I think I'll like it a lot.
Painting other people a certain way.
I'm not telling you anything. I'm talking to Steven and you happen to be here. I don't want to talk to you.
Hypocrite. You are the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Anyway, to respond to you, Dan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even though you set that off on purpose.
Oh, well, first off, I did not set that off on purpose.
Bullshit.
I didn't even know.
This is your this is your specialty. You know exactly what you're doing. But
well, I do think, first off, I will say, I swear in my case, I didn't know about this thing with Stardust. Like, I knew you guys fought, but I didn't know anything like about calling Stardust stupid with that. That was just, she was at the bottom of the thing.
In fact, I think,
there's a lot.
I don't know if you'd recall, but like 6 months ago or something, I started going over all the Destiny and Mr. Girl interactions, and this is, I appreciate it, Banana Dog in chat. This is, like, we're, like, right at the end here.
You just hit gold. Who hit gold?
Are you accusing me of lying?
I take it back. I'm like, no.
Oh, okay.
I take it. I take it back. You just are so good at stirring up shit that you even do it by accident.
Sometimes I
wait. Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Also, hi, Mantis.
I'm penetrating. Hold on, penetrating real quick. Okay, I actually, because I can tell when Dan is shit stirring because he DMs me when he is. I don't think Dan was trying. I think what Dan was getting at though, what Dan was getting at was that I might say more mean words to people, kind of like Dan does, but people don't take them necessarily as seriously. But when you go in on somebody, it seems to be way more pointed. I think like the piece of evidence that I would suggest that maybe implies this is that technically, when I called Lava dumb,
I don't think my reputation or my character is relevant right now. I don't think it matters.
Okay. Well, the only reason. Wait, real quick. I agree.
Stop.
Wait, I agree. But the only reason why it's the subject right now is because you ask people, is Destiny more mean than me? I think that's the only reason that comparison came.
Okay, that's fair. You're right. Okay. So it doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're more mean than me. So
it kind of does matter because if you're going to be mad about how somebody should interact with others, at the very least, you should reach that minimum bar.
No, you are leaving out the power differential. The question is, how does Steven treat people who have less power than him? And that's where I'm saying that there's ethical concerns. I don't really have orbiters in the same way that Steven does.
He's gotten attacked through his platform from small streamers. That's most people.
This is not relevant. None of this is relevant.
How is that not relevant? How does he get to defend himself ever if every small streamer who orbits him
he should stop defending himself. He shouldn't defend himself right now. This is not a good time to defend himself, and it's really not. If you guys are trying to make him look bad, you're doing a good job. This is not a good time for all of his sycophantic orbiter fans to come out and.
She got a rough tooth pulled too.
Start defending him. You guys should all shut the fuck up and let him stand as the captain of the. Let him stand. Oh my God! Stop! All of your voices drowning me out. You should let him stand as the captain of the ship.
He is standing. That's how tall he is.
Tall and strong. Shut the f up. You should let him stand.
Content creator than me, Max.
He's not that tall.
You didn't give a fuck about painting.
Stop, chill. Okay.
This isn't as bad in real life, but like in real life, if I'm on the phone talking to somebody and somebody else talks to me while I'm on the phone, I freak out. It gives me super bad anxiety. This is it's a lot.
Hold on, chill.
Wait, that was so good. That was so good.
It's not as bad, but
stop.
This is rough.
You should let Steven, in another ethical concern of mine, is that he allows people to run interference for him if they have ethical concerns. So a conversation like this should be, I think, if I say, hey, I don't think you're treating your orbiters well, I think that Steven should clear out the space and say, okay, anybody who wants to talk about how you think I'm not treating my orbiters well, I'll hear it out. I don't know if I'm going to agree with you. I'm not going to agree to change anything right now, but I'll think about it. I'll hear you out. I think that's fair. I think if we're going to be in this relationship where I have so much power over you and so much power over your reputation, yeah, I should hear it out.
I guess the biggest thing is that he never asked to be in this relationship with you to begin with, but
oh, so brushed. I was like, wait, what's wrong with Destiny's here? I don't understand. I'm not really good with that stuff. I had no idea what you were talking about.
We've already basically run circles around that. Is that the way that you're also talking about the other people that are not you? It's extremely condescending. You're saying oh, everyone else who's defending.
I'm used to having really long hair, so I can just brush out my hair and not have to do anything to it. It's a girl noticing thing. That makes sense. When I have really long hair, I just let it be long, and then I can just kind of even do that, and it's fine. So I don't really have to think about it very much.
Or him or whatever. It's like a sycophantic, like a orbiter, etc., etc.
Yes, I think you're sycophantic.
Call us bootlickers.
Yes, I think you're licking. I think you're being bootlickers.
No, I think
function right now. Your function right now. You guys are like white blood cells trying to affect and trying to kill an infection.
I think it is pathetic.
I think this right here is the origin of the white blood cells, meme that exists now. I see. It kind of looks like a young boyish comb over, cute.
With Destiny, where you don't get any other.
I would have had no idea.
And you get to just say whatever you want to say without consequence. That's what you're asking.
Yes, it's called a conversation.
I get that. My hair is remarkably curly, so if it doesn't have sufficient weight to it, it can just get totally out of control. It's overwhelming.
The rest of the world calls it a conversation when two people talk to each other, and then there isn't a bunch of other people like white blood cells swarming the conversation to defend one of the people. That's called a conversation. I'm trying to have a conversation with Steven. If you're not able to allow that if you're not able to allow that to happen, then yeah, I'm going to call you a sycophantic bootlicker. Actually, Pixie, I was trying to talk to you, but then Steven jumped in and instead kind of took your place.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you're making.
My hair is crazy curly. Like, you look at the ends of it, it just like leaps straight up. Oh, is it? Oh, is that? I see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's the first time somebody used the white blood cell metaphor. I miss Mr. Girl too. I miss Mr. Girl being in this space. Like, I still watch him whenever he does stuff, but he doesn't do stuff enough anyways either. It sucks. It's mostly the hotline, and then a lot of the interviews like derail super fast. It's a big bummer. I have Jewish hair, so mostly frizzy. If I don't take it here, yeah, I don't know. I just have like super thick Italian hair. I just found out like 2 years ago that you can get it thinned out, and like that was a life changer. Oh my god, I could still have it super long without having it like cook me in the summer. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I guess you keep saying it's a conversation, but really what it sounds like is that you're making a list of demands because your feelings got hurt, which is fine.
Yes, it is a conversation in which I am requesting things of Steven. That's true.
I have one more question.
Those are not mutually exclusive.
Earlier, you said that when it comes to you and your girlfriend talking, and one of them says like abuse, but the other one has to shut the fuck up. That's not a conversation if one person has to shut the fuck up and just like not say anything, right? A conversation requires two people.
Yeah, you can. I always wanted that, but my hairdresser was like, no, more volume.
Going back and forth.
Hairdressers love my hair.
No. I disagree with you. I think you can have a conversation in which a conversation about.
I'm annoyed by my hair.
If you said, Max, I'm really mad at you, and I said, okay, let's talk about it. I think there would be an expectation that you're going to be doing a lot of the talking, especially in the first half of that conversation. It's still a conversation.
Okay, so then I have a question. You feel like you haven't had enough time to talk for like the past I don't know how often you've talked to Destiny in the past like weeks or days. You feel like you have not been able to get your piece across, or you feel like he hasn't given you the time to talk, or what's going on?
What's going on right now is that every time there's a single thread that we could follow in the conversation, someone helpfully comes in to derail it.
I'm gonna also be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure what volume is in reference to hair. I remember one time, my buddy Nick, the pretty tough masculine dude, and he just started like he talked about the shampoo, and he goes, if you do it, it'll give your hair like a lot more something in volume. And he touched the bottom of my hair and like lifted up a little bit, like only touching my hair, and that was like the most like, I guess, homophobic I ever was, because it felt really gay and it freaked me out. He was touching my hair while talking about hair to me. It totally freaked me out, and I was like, stop it. Other than that, I don't think I've ever had any kind of experience like that. Like, I'd rather have my friend grab my ass or something like that. It's too intimate. That's what it is. It's like if one of my friends did something like semi-sexual to me, I could probably laugh about it. But like gently, like bumping up my hair freaks me out. Also, my buddy fucked with me. We were walking one time, and he gently laced his fingers into mine, and that freaked me the fuck out. He knew it was gonna. Yeah, I think like physical intimacy with guys freaks me the fuck. I don't care for it at all. Yeah, it's too tender. Yeah, 100%. I've said out this on stream before, like for sure. Like, I would rather be sexual with a guy than like gently caress and like cuddle or something like that's weird. I don't like it. I don't like thinking about it.
Change the subject. And usually it is in a form of attacking me, discrediting me, trying to make me sound like a hypocrite, trying to make me sound like a crazy person.
Although I wouldn't prefer to do either.
What I think Steven has an ethical obligation to do at this point is to prevent that from happening. He should say, guys, shut up. I want to hear what Max is saying. His feedback is valuable.
You think so? I think most guys that I know would probably be like, you're just gay then. I'm like, no, dude, the cuddling and stuff, that's way more gay. Like, I think that like passionately kissing a dude with our mustaches touching is way more revealing of like your inner sexuality than like blowing a guy. Now, I haven't done either, but I'd take the penis over interlocating mustaches for sure.
I respect him as a person. He's my friend, and we work together. I want to hear what he's saying. I think this is important. But that's not happening. Instead, he gets to...
Wow, you came in at such a good time. Clip it. I'll stand by it. I don't give a shit. Primal versus something more into... Yeah, I just can't. I couldn't do it.
Kind of be the good guy and be like, well, I'm listening to you, but God, all these other people just keep interrupting you. I don't know what's happening. I don't think that's right.
It was my impression that...
Oh my God. Did you say "aw nar" because Tertium's here and he's Australian? I don't think that's why you said it, but it's funny. And since he clipped me, I wanted to point it out.
We heard your point and your request, and
well, you have a false impression. We have not had a meaningful back and forth about... No, every single time I say something, somebody derails.
Then I approve of it even more. I got to rewind this a little bit. I got sidetracked.
And I think this is important, but that's not happening. Instead, he gets to kind of be the good guy and be like, well, I'm listening to you, but God, all these other people just keep interrupting you. I don't know what's happening. I don't think that's right.
It was my impression that we heard your point and your request, and
well, you have a false impression. We have not had a meaningful back and forth about... No, every single time I say something, somebody derails, and we've not had a meaningful back and forth where Steven has really engaged with anything I'm saying.
Yeah, we have, but it's not 100.
As far as the definition phase,
50%.
But as far as like me saying like I think we should set norms around people dunking on each other and tearing each other down, I don't think he's responded to that.
Well, Steven, what do you think? All these things come back to you not saying shit, so why don't you pipe up?
Well, you guys all are having so much fun having this conversation.
Yeah, but that was his complaint.
I love Dan. I think what it is, I think why Dan cracks me up so much is because he's like the only person that rattles Destiny. And it's really funny to see him get rattled. And he just, if you know that energy just transfers when he starts shit other places too. I think that's what it is. I really like it when Dan rattles Destiny.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I have like reasonable norms that I set for conversations. We're not doing like racial stories. Right? I try to avoid like excessive dogpiling. But like, I don't think I'm going to have different standards for different people based on the size.
I think I could probably get tricked by two people with an Australian accent that I talk to a lot. Yep, he can get away with a lot. He's good at shit stirring without being cruel. Nice to see you stream again. Thank you. Oh, hey, it's been a while. The growling. I think I had problems with this before. Arachnid? Arachnid? Oh, it's arachnid. Okay. That was my first thought too. Very nice to see you again. We're getting close to the end of the Mr. Girl Destiny stuff being over.
To the audience.
There's one more video after this, and in between I'm going to play a video that Alley Cattails put in my Discord because it looks fun.
That just seems wholly unfair. Like sooner than that, I would just say no small streamers allowed in conversations with big streamers. That's what I would say. Because I'm not going to sit here and let some people get away with some things and others not, just because they've got a smaller platform. That's ridiculous.
Seems fair.
I think if you only talked to big streamers, there would be a lot less.
I like Dan's sense of humor and banter with Destiny. I do. I really, really like anything else. That podcast is very funny.
It's abuse of power occurring on your stream.
Oh, by the way, it looks like we have some people in here too. I just wanted to put a reminder, please like the stream. If you haven't already subscribed. And if you do decide to donate, the PayPal is much, much better, if you don't mind. Not saying like you have to be here or whatever. I'm not like trying to be like put a lot of pressure on it, but heavily prefer that because then it helps like today.
Stream.
Okay, I don't want to be abused,
that is a solution.
And YouTube takes like 70%.
Obviously, it would
or 30%,
but
something
I think that's
that.
a good solution.
Okay, I disagree. I think that people, even of different sizes, should be allowed to talk to each other and disagree with each other and be mean.
Oh yeah, and during all of them that I have labeled as Stream-a-thon, which I'll be doing for like a while. If you donate, like any kind of like I'd say like $10 or more, you can dictate what happens on the stream. If you want me to react to a video, if you want me to talk to a streamer that you like, I'll bug them or whatever and do my best. You can kind of steer the content. Yesterday, somebody donated $50 and had me go over some Magic the Gathering stuff, which was super cool. So I really get to do that.
And I shouldn't have to like say, well, hold on, stop. Now, I know that...
Froggy Style. Thank you, buddy. Hey! People in this chat right now just got memberships. That's fucking awesome. Froggy Style, once again, proving that he is the main sponsor of this stream. I appreciate you a lot, Froggy. He was the one that had me do the Magic Gathering stuff yesterday.
Lav called you an asshole, Abba, but you're way bigger than her, so you can't call her an asshole because you've got a bigger fan base. I would never be party to that conversation ever.
This is literally the record company.
Froggy's the man.
What if you just said that neither of them should do it?
That's not. I don't want to run a daycare for streamers. That's not my goal. It's to say nobody can be mean to anybody. That's just not the.
Destiny's super correct here. I don't even think that you can have the kind of like debatey atmosphere that Destiny has that people can't. Like, you're gonna end up talking shit at some point. Even me. Hey Zach, how's it going? Yesterday I think I found out that Tertium is as big of a nerd for this super, like, literally 5,000-year-old board game called Go as I am, and we played each other, and it turns out we're like almost perfectly evenly matched too, which is super, super cool. Hey, that's my favorite emote. That's my baby dog. She's
style
sleeping.
of conversation I do, I guess. People are kind of mean to each other.
It was fun.
Is what it is.
This is
my turn to derail?
This is exploitative. Exploitative.
Instead of having a conversation that like keeps, instead of having a conversation where you like prescribe something for Steven, I think that this should just be like an open-ended conversation where you're like, just a reminder of like, this is how I feel, and that's like all you can literally fucking do, which sucks.
Well, but he doesn't want to talk about just how he feels. He wants
I'll talk about how I feel.
Change.
I feel like shit. I don't feel good about our professional relationship. I feel bad about it. I don't like how I'm being treated. I really don't like it.
How can he treat you better?
Well, he's already said how.
Yeah, I mean,
like action points, I guess, to start. Okay. Like actionable things.
Actionable things.
I think that's all he said.
Stop
actionable things.
Saying that stop saying bad things about me when I'm not there to even respond to it.
How does it make you feel when he does that?
It makes me feel misunderstood.
That's retarded.
No, stop.
I think that it's actually healthy what Labs do, but it's such a bad idea, and it's bad. It's going to cause problems.
Yeah, I think that this is important.
It makes me feel misunderstood, sad, and alone, and this anxiety that I'm...
If somebody did that when I was having conflict with somebody, I would love that.
I'm watching the tide turn against me, and there's nothing I can do. It is literally like 1984. It's literally 1984. I will have a conversation with you, and then after it's over, you'll just say that I said something that I didn't say, or you'll just say like, oh, you're doing the Max thing. Max plays word game. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, you were like, Max will say to somebody, he'll say something like, I'm gonna rape you. And then they'll get upset, and then his fans will be like, oh, well, you didn't understand what he meant. I know you're joking. But
I'm not joking. You literally go that extreme. You say things that are so off the wall, and then you're quiet for like 30 seconds. And then
Good. So, Steven, what
Stardust, chill. This isn't the environment for you guys to resolve your personal
God.
feelings. Okay?
So I think we're getting back into prescriptions.
Yes.
I think
no,
I think
I don't. What have I said?
Oh my God.
That is as extreme as I'm going to rape you.
Okay, I need to adjust myself. Stop looking at chat at night, peeps. Listening, hopefully painlessly sleeping. Maybe the grown tooth fairy comes and leaves me some major money. Have a good night, Allie. Hopefully your mouth feels better sooner than later.
What have you seen? I don't know if I can think of something right off the bat, but like earlier, the conversation that you said...
No, take your time. This is a long form format, long form conversation. Take your time. I want you to take as long as you need to defend what you just said. I say things that are actually as extreme as saying to someone in a conversation, I'm going to rape you.
what are things that you said in the? Did you not say in the? Did you not say in the Stardust conversation that you feel like you're raping her in the conversation?
I did say that.
Okay. It's not as extreme as I'm going to rape
in
you.
terms like that sometimes that are really extreme.
Do you think that do you think I feel like I'm raping you is as extreme as I'm going to rape you?
Okay, maybe it's not exactly the same. But the
okay. That's all.
You guys are getting a little stuck. You guys.
No, we're not stuck at all.
Okay,
no, we're making progress.
I want to get on progress. So let's make progress. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. When you say something
inch by inch, we're getting there.
I know you're making a joke. It's a slight exaggeration, but that done over and over and over again paints a picture of me as somebody that I am not. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just watching myself in real time. My reputation and the audience's ability to understand and know me be destroyed.
Okay.
And I hate it. I really
that's fine, but you do it to yourself as well, right? Where you make an extreme statement, and then
that's my right. It's my right to make people confused about who I am. I don't like it when you do it, though. It fucking sucks.
Okay, my brain won't be able to engage ever, and I think I'm the only person on the internet that would ever be able to. But if you can find other people, I can't do it. If you're gonna constantly say off the wall shit like Dr. K's engagement with Wreckful is worse than raping Wreckful, or
but he actually thinks that. That's not even extreme. He thinks that Dr. K's engagement with Wreckful directly led to Wreckful's misery that led to his death.
Saying that Brittany was like a Nazi.
That's off the wall. I don't think it's off the wall.
Fine. Then I stand by everything that I just said earlier. Then
I think it's really pointed that you bring that up, because what I'm saying is when you have a power differential with another person, there is an extreme.
Did the memberships on YouTube make sure you guys don't get commercials? I don't know how that works.
Amount of responsibility that I place on the person with more power. With Dr. K.
No,
with Wreckful,
that's what you just said now. That's what you just said now. It's an extreme power.
With Dr. K and Wreckful, let me finish. With Dr. K and Wreckful.
We don't need you to explain what you mean. We all know what you mean. I don't know why you want to waste time and re-explain what you meant. We all know it. I agree with what you're saying.
I'm waiting for Payday to send you more than pennies. I'm going to be streaming like this pretty much all week. I think on Friday... oh, that's so dumb. How do I make it so you guys don't get commercials? I think on Friday I might be going to Ohio. There's a stand-up comedian, Jordan Jensen. My friend might take me to go see her. I was already planning on it. I already had my ticket before I lost my job. And I think my friend wants to go too, so we might go and see her. That'd be really cool. It's only like 45 minutes away. Oh, so there's nothing that a viewer can do? Like insofar as like paying to the streamer to not get commercials? That's shit.
Because you are sneaking in something about me.
But otherwise, every night, because at the moment, I got fired. Well, legally, technically, yeah, I got laid off. But it was... I feel like it was pretty unjust for them to have done it. I have really hurt feelings about it because I really, really loved my job. I sent them an email saying like, hey, my wife just left and I have to figure out what I'm doing. I don't think that I can be professional today. If I have to come in, just give me a call. Here's my number in case for whatever reason they didn't have it. Like super readily available. It's like I'll still come in if I have to. I don't want to lose my job. I really love my job. And then just later that day, I got an email saying that I was laid off. They worded it in a way that made it not look like it was my fault. You'll be fine. I believe in you. Thanks. I'm sorry. That sucks. It does suck. I really wish, especially right now, I wish I had my job too, because it is such a peaceful job. I just sit at my desk and do the surveillance stuff, and I just listen to like podcasts and stand-up comedy and stuff. It was a really relaxing place to be.
Fucking lie, and I want to clear it up.
I'm not sneaking in anything that's a lie. I'm telling you what you
explain it.
We already know what it means. We agree. I agree.
Let me explain what I think you're sneaking in.
Okay.
What you're sneaking in is that I didn't really mean that.
Basically, I'll be streaming anytime that I'm not sleeping, taking my kid to or from school, or I've been trying really hard to link up with people that don't live too far away from me, because like I just need some human interaction. I think it's not the best that I just sit here all the time by myself. So anytime I'm not doing any of those things, I'm basically going to be streaming, because I literally don't have anything better to do, and I need to be doing something productive.
What you're sneaking in is that I'm saying something in a crazy, zany way that I'm not sincerely actually saying.
That's not even true.
And that if pressed about it, I will back off of.
No,
so
that's not even what I've said. I've never. The characterization I give is that you'll say.
Yeah, I like my shitty job for that reason. You can just put headphones in. My job, like, nobody bugs me. Like, every once in a while, my boss would be like, "Hey, can you pull up this store and like check it out? Like, see if this is going on." One of the funniest times that she asked me to do that is one of the stores asked if they could close early because Donald Trump was like in that town, and they figured the traffic was going to be super bad. She's like, "Can you pull it up?" And I looked. I would have had no idea anything was going on. There was like literally no traffic whatsoever by the store. So I don't know how well he pulled, how big his rally was in Detroit, but there didn't seem to be any traffic at a store nearby it.
Say something like, "I'm going to rape you." And then you'll pause for a moment and they'll be awkward. And then you'll be like, "When I say rape, obviously the definition that I'm using is, I'm going to take advantage of this conversation." Or you'll say something completely off the wall, and then you'll give...
Back. Yes, that's a walk back, but I haven't walked this back. I think what Dr. K did with Reckful is worse than rape.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't have the brain. Max Pants are right. I just don't have a big enough brain to engage with topics, I guess. Okay. Sorry, my bad.
I think that you have a blind spot when it comes to responsibility.
Absolutely. You're so... Stop. Okay, hold on. No,
let me finish. No, let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. I think you have a blind spot when it comes to interpersonal responsibility. When one person has more power.
This is where it starts to get messy, I think, if memory serves.
Power than another person. I think you have a blind spot about Dr. K. I think you have a blind spot with you and your own orbiters. I think that you don't understand the amount of psychological devastation that you can cause in some of the same people who are defending you right now, who have been raked across the coals by you. I think that you, for some reason, will not actually sit and think about this, which is the same reason that you will not allow it to be done with Reckful and Dr. K. But I do think what Dr. K did to Reckful is worse than rape. I think he harmed him more than a rape would have harmed him.
At least not enough for there to be any traffic at a nearby store, yeah.
I think it's more egregious and more selfish than it is to literally actually rape someone.
I do give the employees props for just trying to get the day off, though.
I think a perfect example of this is the Anna situation.
I'm actually about to nuke you from orbit. Lab, this is one of the things where you're too young and actually stupid to eat.
Oh, this is the thing. I think this is the thing this is the Lab just added the crucial ingredient to start this chemical reaction.
Even begin to comment on. If you do this, I will actually lose my shit. Please stop. I already saw your clips talking about it, and I will lose my mind if you try to make an example of this. I'll actually lose it. Okay. I'm already losing. I already half lost it. Don't, please, holy shit, stop.
Okay.
Go ahead, Max.
I'm not gonna press. I'm not gonna.
I love you, Lab. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I'm not going to press you on that, but you do see an extreme amount of resistance to certain criticisms, right? If you're saying you're going to stop, you're going to move it from. You're saying you're going to.
Let's do it. I changed my mind. Let's do it. Hold on.
I was right. Oh man, this was peak Destiny. Anybody who says otherwise is just fucking wrong. For entertainment value, this was where it was at.
No, sorry, hold on. I completely changed my mind. Lav, I give you permission. Go, dude. No, go ahead. Go ahead, bring it up. Let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Before you respond, I don't want to have judoed you into having to listen to this.
No, I want to. I'm excited.
Okay, but your first response to it was, "I'm going to cut ties with you if you press me on this."
Listen, he thought about it.
I thought about it. You're right. I was wrong.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he said after he thought about it. I just want it to be acknowledged that when Lav says, "Hey, I think you mistreated this person really publicly, and I want to press you on it," his first response was, "I will cut ties with you."
I have the right to do that. I don't even know if Lav benefits that much from being on my platform. No, you're saying.
Do you think how long do you think it took somebody to message Anna that she got brought up on that?
I don't. You're saying that as part of my response. You're playing the fucking word game again. You're so abusive with the way that you talk, okay? You're doing this double speak where you're like, you have the right to do it, but you're arguing that I ought not to do it, okay? You know what I mean when I say that. Stop trying to dance around the 3 or 4 different definitions you can describe a word at any point in the conversation. You're saying that I ought not to act in a certain way, and I'm saying I can't do that. And he's like, well, technically you can do that, but that's not what we're talking about. Hold on, stop. You're telling me that it is unethical for me to tell Lav that I don't want to have that conversation with her because it's an abuse of my power. Can you give me a yes or no to that? Or
this is actually, as funny as it is, Destiny's so in the right here, and mrgirl should be supporting, because what Destiny did was he set a boundary. He said, if you do this, I will do this. That's literally Destiny setting a boundary. That's all he did. He was kind of freaking out when he did it, but that's how you're supposed to do that. It's better to do it more calm. I think that right now, mrgirl is, I know he's super frustrated, and he's kind of trying to figure out exactly how to get through to Destiny about what he's talking about, and he feels very protective of Lab, so it's just kind of a perfect storm for mrgirl to not see that. But honestly, like that's the best example that I can think of in recent memory of seeing a streamer actually setting a very clear boundary with somebody. He didn't say, you can't do this, I'll stop you from doing this. He said, if you do this, I'm done with you. Which is how we should all handle when somebody's crossing into our comfort zone. That it would be like that egregious. That's what I do.
Or you can use a sentence, but explain what if I'm allowed to do that.
Too fast.
My question was, do you acknowledge?
I don't know why you're asking me a question. I'm asking you, is it ethical for me to tell Lab, I don't want to talk about that, or I'm going to kick you off of here? Is that an ethical thing for me to do, or is that unethical? Answer that question.
I don't know. Can I explain?
Destiny better tell him that he just set a boundary.
Can I
explain? I don't remember.
Yes, do
Can I explain?
Yes, explain it. I want to hear it.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, go. I'm sorry, because earlier it seemed like you implied exactly that, but go ahead.
I know. Let me...
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch you. Said this is very much a mrgirl thing. Yeah.
Explain myself.
Yes,
absolutely.
Understand.
Okay. Help me.
My question was, do you see that is a very defensive reaction? That was all I asked. And you said, but I have the right to do it.
What are you implying when you say defensive?
Wait, stop. I had nothing. I'm actually asking you.
You're not implying...
I think it would have just been better for mrgirl to examine that Destiny set a boundary there. That's Destiny's yes, I love it when you abuse me voice. I really like when he snapped. It gave me like horror flashbacks of like being in a fight in a relationship, and like you're just like arguing, all of a sudden she's just like, okay, and I'm like, oh no. She knows something that I don't, and it's going to be really bad for me from here on out. That's the, like, it's like you could hear his mental stability snap right in that moment. It's, I'm a little anxious about it.
Anything?
Let me finish explaining this.
I hesitate to say that it's like specifically a woman thing, but it's definitely a women that I have dated thing, for sure.
To you. Because I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not your fucking enemy. I'm not trying to tear you down. Let me explain this. This is nuanced and complicated. I'm sure you'll be able to understand it if you just shut the fuck up for a second. When I asked you if you acknowledge that it's defensive, that's not me trying to say you being defensive is automatically disallowed or a bad idea. These are personal relationships that you have with all of us, and she's bringing up another personal relationship, and it is emotionally provocative for you, and there are genuinely good reasons that are non-abusive for you to be like, I don't want to fucking talk. I don't want you to bring this up. Stop bringing up all of my like past everything.
One of them needs to bring up the Destiny was setting a boundary, or I'm going to freak out.
All at once. I don't want to do all this at the same time. If you want to have a separate conversation about that another time, we can blah, 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 blah. But don't dogpile me. I think that's totally responsible.
That's great if that's what you would have said. But what you said after having Oh, Jesus. We got it. You guys have to, you and Live need to figure out how to explain shit way faster, okay? I don't want the 52 sentences restating the same shit over and over and over again. That's one of the reasons why we're not
up and let me finish, motherfucker.
Circling. I've already gotten the gist of what you said. I understand what you're saying. But what you're not understanding is that when you say that, can you understand that you're getting defensive there?
It could be abusive.
Oh my God.
It could.
That's not the implication, dog. The implication is that I am abusive, that I don't understand these power dynamics, and that I'm leveraging my platform in order.
I always told my boyfriends they should get anxious when I go quiet.
Abuse the people here. And when Lav tried to bring something up that she felt was a legitimate argument, and I said, no, I don't want to do that or I'm nuking you.
I don't know that much about you, but I feel like you could probably lay into somebody pretty good.
You're going, Destiny,
Dog.
Can you please just acknowledge that you literally exemplified my chief criticism of you? That is...
I feel like if you were aggressively coming at me verbally, that I would probably be intimidated by it.
That's exactly what you do.
What I'm saying. That's not.
Okay, can you acknowledge? Okay, fine. So you're not saying that, Max. I agree with you. Can you acknowledge that 99.999% of people that would hear it would take it that way?
Yes, because you interrupted me before I could make my point. Yes, if you stop me from saying something and then you say something stupid.
Your point was you just wanted me to acknowledge it.
You replace what I'm saying with something stupid. And yes, they're not going to understand what I'm saying.
You literally were saying. You said acknowledge it.
This is a complicated idea
go for it.
that a lot of people in your audience are too dumb to understand, and I need you to let me flesh it out a little bit. There's no single instance that is going to exemplify police racism. We don't know why George Floyd was killed. We don't know what would have happened if he weren't black. There's no single instance that is going to exemplify an abusive dynamic. It is a constellation of occurrences and behaviors, and no single thing is going to prove any.
He hit him with the piano. Destiny's done with it. That can be very verbally intimidating. I've cooled down a lot with partners, though. I do it to people who I don't respect or who are coming at me now, mostly. Okay, I think I have the correct mental model of you then.
You're going to have a justifiable explanation for every single data point, but my point is, I just want to say, as far as we're talking about this, I want to bring up the question of, is it right for you to shoot down allegations of abuse by threatening to nuke people? I don't know if it is. I don't know the answer. But I just want you to be
there's the
thinking about
chance
it.
that you don't know the... I have thought about it. Here's my thoughts. If somebody wants to discuss something that is private, personal, or...
Now they're like both... They're both making good points now. Love when he plays piano.
...for me to discuss, I think I have a right to say, I don't want to talk about that. I don't know how much more I need to think about that. Can you guide me in that conversation to where other answers could be? Well, actually, Destiny, no. In some cases, you are forced to sit there and endure what was arguably one of the most unbelievable arcs of your entire stream, and that's going to be right now. I want you to talk me through how else could that potentially have gone?
Yep, okay. I think it stays aggressive for the rest of the part because it goes into the Anna stuff.
Go ahead, I'll wait.
I think there's a few ways you could approach that. One is you could say, listen, I understand if you think...
I don't know what Mr. Girl's going to say, but he's probably going to do the thing that I think is pretty damaging when he talks to people. He'll talk about how somebody could ideally respond, that like everybody be like, oh, that was really good and nice and mature. I think you need to go down a level or two when you're making recommendations. I don't think that you should give somebody the best kind of response that they should give as a suggestion. I think it's going to fall on deaf ears. But you can meet somewhere in the middle. I always shoot for like, what's the next step up? Like what's slightly better.
I was abusive in that situation.
Especially if I'm going to talk about the ideal way to do it.
We're only hearing one abuse allegation at a time. All right, so if you want to talk about your feelings... I know, I'm saying Steven could have said this to you. He could have said, if you want to talk about your feelings or Max's feelings...
Piano's getting me.
Yeah, but I don't
like... Wait, stop. Let me answer his question. So that's one way you can answer it. Another way you can answer it is you could say, if you think that this is an example of a broader pattern, let's stick to other things because I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'm done talking about. I don't want to talk about her when she's not here. I just don't want to get into it, especially because I'm worried that it's going to, actually affect her if we talk about it.
Yeah, he comes off as needy because he's doing the here's saying that what you could do is like the totally clear-headed, totally super duper nice, optimal thing that you could say, because I think it's just asking too much of anybody, really, especially if it's a stressful situation. But even so, like, I really don't feel like it's reasonable to ask somebody to be optimal when they're talking to other people. Better is better. We should shoot for better.
There's a lot of ways for you to acknowledge the validity of her bringing it up, or just say you don't want to talk about it. You don't have to threaten to...
Yeah, what you could have done is be superhuman. Now, to be fair, I don't think it takes you being superhuman. Like a lot of the things that Mr. Girl says, like that, like that's literally how I talk to people, or the saintly psychiatrist. Yeah, I say all the time. Wait, like particularly because usually when things like this come up in real life, it's when you're in a relationship. I talk the way that like therapists and psychiatrists say you should talk. That makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing, so I opt to do that. But I also understand that I'm super fucking weird with that, and I've literally never met anybody that would match me in doing that. So it's not reasonable to expect people to do. But it doesn't require you to be superhuman. It just takes you being my flavor of weird, I guess.
To cut ties with her.
Okay, it's interesting that it seems like you're so excited and so happy to talk about people's boundaries and stuff in other circumstances. But if I want to draw a strong boundary here, like if you do this, I'm done completely. I'm not allowed to have that boundary because of the position that I've assumed as, I guess, the de facto like psychological rape victim because I'm all of your bosses that I never agreed to be. That's pretty insane to me, but okay.
Yeah, I think that the more guarded you are.
Yeah, it's not always reasonable. And like to be fair, like I'm not always do that, but like more often than not I do. If it fails a couple of times and I'm pretty hurt, I can be an unpleasant schizo, just like everybody else can too.
Or defensive or boundary setting you are around people calling you out for what they perceive as bad behavior, then of course the more inherently abusive the relationship is.
The way that you just phrased that was I just went just perfect. That was so beautifully done. Go ahead. I'm being sarcastic. It was just the way that you frame things is unreal. That the idea of like my position is there's an incredibly dramatic person you've been involved in that's had 2 years of insane interactions with, and Lab wants to bring that up in the middle of this conversation, which we can talk about now if you want to say that, oh, well, if there's something that is uncomfortable for you to discuss and you get defensive about that, that could be an insight that you're actually the abuser in this relationship. The way that you phrased that was unbelievable, but okay.
What I'm saying is every time I try to call you out for anything, you get really defensive.
That's not true. I'll have a conversation with you about anything.
You're doing it right now.
No, it's over her bringing up another person's incredibly complex drama, and I've already heard her thoughts on it.
But when I said that just now, you could have been like, give me an example of me being defensive and guarded. But instead you start screaming at me that it's not true.
Because you're implying that I'm being abusive by telling somebody I'm kicking them off if they do something, and then you're saying, well, I'm not implying that at all. There are other ways that you could have brought it up or whatever, when you absolutely are implying that.
No, what I said is the more guarded you are around criticisms, the more definitionally abusive the relationship is going to be. That's just how it is.
That's not just how it is. You're giving this is like abuser 101. If you're trying to criticize somebody and they're being incredibly defensive about it, that's because they're in the wrong. And you have a right to have your criticism heard by that person. And if they're getting more upset about it or emotional about it, they're even more wrong about it. In fact, the more guarded a person is, when you're trying to extend into their comfort zone, the more correct you are and the more incorrect they are. That's an unbelievable statement for you to make.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you have power over other people, the less feedback you hear from them, the more... What the fuck
is that bag?
Sorry.
If you have power over other people, the less criticism you're willing to hear from them, then the more abusive the relationship will be.
Okay, I think there are certain types of criticism that you don't necessarily have to hear from people, but okay, all right.
Is it my turn?
No, Lav, what did you want to bring up? Go for it, yeah.
So one thing, I think that we're using like big words like abuse, and I think that we should probably avoid that when we're talking amongst friends, because I think that you're both trying to paint each other as like some...
Oh man, this is so wild. I haven't listened for ages, but holy... Yeah. This is peak Destiny right here. Also, it gets worse. When we get to the next video, when that happened, and they like officially burnt the bridge for good, I had so many people messaging me because like I just missed it. Like a lot of people were like, "What do you think?" Blah, 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 blah. And I had like a date night with my wife and one of our exes. We were like watching like scary movies and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna put my phone down and I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just gonna be here doing this thing. And then like after the movie was over, I was like, all right, I'm gonna check my phone. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Oh my god. And I was just like, hey, something's going on. Is it okay if like, can I just like check it out? Or they're like, just go, you're fine, go. I explained like the best I could, like super fast.
Somehow, or maybe not trying to, but what
I
you
think
are
it's
doing
important
is, like,
to call
painting
out.
the other
No,
person as an abuser.
I disagree.
I just don't think that that's helpful, because when you put out a word like abuser, they're way less likely to take like even look at what Max is saying, and you're effectively doing like what Max is asking you not to do.
Okay, I don't think Steven is an abuser.
No, I don't think that you do.
I think our relationships are set up by the platforms in such a way that they're totally unregulated, and it's just there's going to be inherent abuses of power. I think Steven would have to work really hard to try to push against the inherently abusive
With
nature
great
of
power
the setup.
comes great responsibility. This is why I was going to bring up the Anna thing. I don't think that you did anything on purpose. I don't think that you abused Anna.
Hold on, actually, I'm going to let you dive into this. I'm going to let you stop. I'm going to let you dive into this, Lab. But Lab, for the public record, can you confirm or deny? Have I had like personal conversations with you saying things that like, if you're comfortable talking about this or whatever, like if you want to chat about this, I'm not going to hold anything against you, blah, 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 blah. We've had those explicit conversations.
I know for a fact, well, I guess I don't know for a fact, I've spoken to Lav privately. Some things are on the record, some things are off the record. I have a video of it just for me, so I can recall, like if I can't remember whatever, but I said I wasn't going to publish it, so I won't. But Lav has agreed that Destiny was pretty good about that stuff. I'm specifically talking about what Destiny's saying here. Lav has confirmed it to me privately.
We're right, or am I making that up?
Wait, sorry, what?
Have we had explicit conversations offline where I've talked with you about like, if you're comfortable with being on my stream, like that's cool or whatever, or you don't have to come on and chat or blah, blah, blah. Have we had these conversations privately, or has that never come up before?
Well, I guess more specifically, I would say that she felt like he was doing his due diligence in this regard. Mr. Girl is right. All his takes are slow burns. It is funny to see him getting proven more and more right as time goes on.
Of course, I know what I'm getting into,
because like I was on his side with this. And if Mr. Girl was like a little bit more present, there might be a little bit more space to be a little bit haughty about it when it happens. But really, all you can do, all I really have like the ability to do is just like kind of make like a slightly snarky tweet or something.
Your home.
Sure, okay, I just want to be clear. I'm not just like saying like, hey, come join this and see what happens. Like, we've explicitly talked about like, these are the pros, these are the cons, this is what happens. Like, I have these conversations. I'm pretty sure with Pixie, I think I've had that conversation too. I've explicitly generally had conversations with people. It's like, hey, sometimes the audience get rough, sometimes it's gonna happen. Like, if you do or don't want to talk about this, I'm not gonna hold this, blah, blah.
It seems like Destiny's good at making sure people are comfortable. Yeah, and like I said, specifically in this regard, it doesn't extend out to any of the other claims that he's making. So I do think that he does things that are pretty unsavory, things that I would never consider doing. That I would just say that like they should probably just be off limits. I do think that I think it's probably pretty likely that there's a lot of stuff that comes up like in his conversations with Mr. Girl along this stuff that he might not have ever thought about. Because you just kind of do what works for you. But after it's come up, I think that he's just super resistant to changing any of this stuff because it would be hard to do. It would suck. So I think, and the Mr. Girl report makes some really, really good points in it, I think. But it shouldn't have been 500 pages to read.
I just want to be said that I do have these conversations offline with you.
Go ahead.
I think that the problem is that you don't understand that your platform is like a magnet because of like the level of like fame and attention, and also
oh, I'm sure he's done that too. Yeah. I think that it is really weird. Not like how you're saying right now. I'm not like pointing a finger at you for this, Mantis, but like there's people who are in like DGG, like you can point out how Destiny's abusive to people and they'll be like, yeah, duh. Yeah, but like you're supposed to like not approve of that.
Like
of course I understand.
Misunderstanding
it seems like they're into it.
Understanding you like becomes very addictive, and it seems like you actually don't understand. Like I think.
No, stop! I'm going to say something. Hold on, stop, because this is my whole career. Of course I understand that. How could you even imply that I don't? Obviously, there's going to be a certain level of exposure that people like enjoy when they come onto platforms like this. But I mean, like, I can't do it. That's the responsibility of you to manage, unless I feel like somebody is engaging with it in an incredibly irresponsible manner. Like, you're coming on and you're being self-destructive over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, well, this is probably not a healthy way for you to engage. But don't say that, like, oh, I don't think you understand what it's like. Of course I understand. I've been doing this for 12 years.
Steven,
Go ahead.
You're
I feel like that might have been like a subtle shot at Anna,
misunderstanding me.
or to like sort of sneak in a point that he can fall back to and restate if Anna comes back up.
I'm not saying, listen, I understand that you're obviously in defense mode because I think that Max is going pretty hard on you.
I'm not in defense mode. I'm in super jovial mode.
No, you absolutely are.
Okay, stop.
He's in
Don't talk to
attack
me.
mode.
If you think I'm too retarded
See?
because I'm in defense mode, then don't talk to me. I can't even hear you.
I barely got the words out of my mouth before he proved me right. Yeah, he's in attack mode.
I'm sorry. I'm too defensive. I can't understand what you're saying. Max can talk to me again if he wants.
I think that it is a normal human response to be defensive in this moment. I don't think you're overdoing it. I don't think it makes sense.
I'm not defensive. I've thought about these topics for years before either of you were either into doing any of this thing for them. So for both of you to come in and be like, I don't think you've ever even considered for a fact what the power differentials are like. Obviously I have. I've thought about all of this a lot.
Steven, I know that you do. I think that, like I just said, I think that Max is going very hard on you. I think that he probably agree that you do a lot to quell it.
Okay, why are you running? Hold on, Max is not even going very hard on me. I think most of what he's saying is reasonable. Max could probably be a lot meaner if he wanted to be. I don't think Max is going super hard. We're just having a heated discussion.
I would say before I took a good look at the Anna stuff, I would have said that Destiny does.
And obviously he disagrees with something.
Does do more than like pretty much anybody to stop his community from being abusive. But some of the stuff that happened with Anna, like directing people to her kiwi farms or threatening to share her nudes, I would have said, like, yeah, it seems like he's probably among the best. I was pretty shocked when I found all that stuff out.
I do, but Max is not like, I don't think Max is going super ultra hard on me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
It feels yuck, though, the way they keep saying you're being defensive. It's goading, kind of like when you're angry, when someone says, okay, you're angry, calm down, you're so angry. I hate being told to calm down when I'm angry. When somebody tells you to calm down when you're angry, it's what they're really saying is, you shouldn't have the feelings that you're having right now, and that's infuriating. But yeah, I think that saying that he's being defensive, I think if you want to say something like that to somebody, it's probably best to do it. If it's a person that you care about and you're trying to have a productive conversation, you should probably bring that up after the fact. You said, I don't know something, but I in fact do. Take it back. Oh. Yeah, so if it's interesting because if you say like you don't understand this, but and if somebody says you don't understand this and you obviously do, I think that it's I think it's a little bit socially inept to just hammer down super hard that you do, because that means you're not really addressing the thing that they're actually talking about. What they're talking about is that you behave the way that you behave around this thing suggests that you haven't considered this, or if you had considered it, then you had the wrong takeaway from it. Like that's obviously what they're expressing, and so it's a little odd to only talk about just say the opposite. I think that's a really good way to not have a conversation. And for me personally, when I tell somebody like, hey, I've noticed this and it really bothers me, if they just say like, I'm not doing that, I fucking hate them. Like, okay, well, do you understand what I'm telling you what my experience is? And I'm clearly experiencing something. Could we talk about the thing that I just said? As though I'm actually experiencing it, even if you don't think that the thing that I'm talking about is literally happening. It would be really nice if we could talk about the experience that I'm having, instead of you just telling me, I don't agree that I'm doing that, so therefore, I guess you're just on your own and you have to figure out all that stuff without talking to me at all. That's terrible.
I disagree with everything you say, yeah.
And it triggers me super hard.
Yeah, Matt, how does it feel, Lav? How does it feel, Lav? I hope it feels real bad. Yeah, good. If you start crying again, turn on your camera. I'm going to watch it, okay?
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck is happening?
He does himself no favors with that shit.
I love you guys.
Sorry,
you were saying
where
something about abuse, Lav, and
I was saying
that he didn't think he abused.
She was saying I think she was picking up off of what I was saying, where I'm not trying to say that you're an abusive person or that you are an abuser. I'm saying that the relationship, the setup of the relationship is almost inherently abusive, and that you would have to fight really hard against it and put protections in place. And I don't feel, for myself, I don't feel those protections are being put in place. I feel like banning my fans and banning me from your subreddit was one pretty strong example.
Hold on. Mr. Girl, you're...
Well, I don't want to hold on. I want to finish what I'm saying, motherfucker.
I know, but Lav...
You doing memory lane? Yeah, we're right at the point of when this video ends, the next one. I have a small intermission video that seems fun, but we're going right into the bridge burning itself. So this is what led to the fire. This is the fire that collapsed the bridge. And we see the bridge collapse next.
You really got to finish on this Anna stuff, because that's like a super, like, that was a crazy thing to say. You think...
Did you hear what you said about her on stream?
No. Like, good Lav, I want you to flesh out your position right now.
Dan is being top tier shitster right now.
Don't feel fearful, but like, say what you mean.
I want to finish what I'm saying.
You will go next, Mr. Girl. Come on, you know you have 80% of this. Just wait.
This is a super unpopular opinion. Some of the people that I think are like, what I guess I'd call like Destiny experts, people that have like obsessed and combed over Destiny's career, fine-tooth comb that I've talked to, disagree with me, but I still feel very strongly that I'm correct. I think Dan did care about Mr. Girl in the end here. Like in this whole scenario, I think that Dan was a lot more sympathetic towards Mr. Girl when he butted heads with Destiny, more than almost anyone else in Destiny's orbit. Now, like I said, I've had nothing but people disagree with me, but I still think that. Well, the part just before Destiny couldn't handle like cis Mr. Girl simps on the Reddit. I really like how you put that.
Steven asked me to finish what I was saying.
No, he takes it back. Take it back, Steven.
I take it back.
I don't want to do
this.
He
took it back.
I don't want to do this.
Okay, let Mr. Girl finish. Go ahead.
All right, you better be quick. Go. This is not quick.
I think that when you play good cop, bad cop with your mods and let them fucking smear me.
Also, I really... You clip the laugh. That's fair. I really want to talk to Dan about Mr. Girl. I just really don't know how to get a hold of Dan. He's pretty elusive. I think I found him on Twitter, but he doesn't have like open DMs or something like that. I definitely made an effort, because honestly, I think that that's like an interview that I think I've just given up on getting. But I think that Dan would have a lot of like pretty interesting insight talking about Mr. Girl, especially if he didn't get angry. He can be kind of soft and real sometimes, and I think that I've seen him be like that at times with Mr. Girl.
Me and ban me and silence me. I understand you're not doing that.
But I know it's unpopular.
But it comes off like you're like, well, I'm down. I don't know what they're doing. Blah blah blah. While they're fucking me. And that's one example. And then there's other stuff like what you saying that I would tell somebody I'm going to rape them and then walk it back as like, oh, I was just saying an interesting idea when I would never fucking do that. Feels like you are not like those. I understand why you're saying those things and doing those things.
Actually, this is interesting. That would be cool. Surely you could get a hold of... I don't know how. If anybody knows how I can get a hold of Dan, let me know, because I would really like to talk to him about it, and I'd really like to include that in the Mr. Girl video project. Oh shit! There's something I had to say, and I lost it. Let me see.
Feels like you are not like those. I understand why you're saying those things and doing those things, but it feels like you're not.
Shit! I lost it.
Proactively trying to prevent harm from being done to me. Feels like you're letting bad shit happen to me, and it hurts. And I'm
too much
mad,
brain at
and
once.
and I think it's wrong.
Okay, I have to go quickly.
No,
I'm just
you're
leaving
okay.
my final thought on this very
Nobody ever apologized for chatting in my chat.
quickly. It just seems like you guys are trying to absolve your personal responsibility of what you say and like the impressions people are gonna have and like the reactions people are gonna have.
He's saying I said stuff I didn't say. That's not like I don't. It's not personal responsibility. If Steven's like,
that's a pretty ironic thing, I think, to say in Destiny.
Max says things like he tells people he's going to rape them, and I'm like, well, I never said that. And he's like, yeah, okay, but basically,
I remember now. I wonder if Destiny uses this example because very shortly after this was when the bridge burned, and that's when Destiny flipped and said that Mr. Girl's actually a rapist, even though he's maintained every time that the Consent is Complicated video came up, he always defended Mr. Girl and very clearly understood the nuance that was there. His big attack against Mr. Girl when the bridge burned was that Mr. Girl's an actual literal rapist. And that's what I argued with him about, is that it was dishonest, and he knows that he's being dishonest. Like he's lying to hurt Mr. Girl's reputation as retaliation. So it seems like I think that Destiny's already made up his mind at this point that this isn't going to last much longer, or that it's very likely not to. So I think that if nothing else, it would be very tactical to like plant the seed of this idea. Yeah, he definitely doesn't think he's a rapist. He said it on purpose to be vengeful, of course. Hey, all-rounder. And this, like, I definitely think that Destiny's the kind of person to, like, plant seeds of ideas in advance to be able to wield them more effectively in the future. I'm not saying for sure that's what's happening here, but I would lean a lot more heavily towards it is than isn't.
Not the exact
like, no, that's not
words,
me trying to absolve myself of responsibility for stuff I said. I didn't fucking
you
say that.
Extreme things that other people.
Okay, but you can't swap just because I said an extreme thing or thing you find extreme.
The thing
doesn't mean you can swap it out. Doesn't mean you can
things,
swap it out for another thing that's also extreme and be like, they're both pretty extreme. You basically you haven't told anybody you'll rape them, but you basically did. You basically
you talked about rape.
Are you leaving, Pixie? Pixie, this is not a I'm leaving thing. Come on.
Okay, let me finish. Let me finish it. What I'm saying is that when you say extreme things or extreme sentences, those are prone for people misinterpreting them or for people not like understanding exactly what you said. And you have a responsibility for the words that you say, and it just looks like both
I do, but I don't have a responsibility for things that Steven makes up that I didn't say.
My final sentence, Max. Let me finish, and then you can go off. So you guys are trying to put that responsibility onto Steven because he has a bigger platform, and you're trying to make him responsible for the reactions that happen across his platform when you guys share responsibility too. When you guys say something extreme, when you guys say something stupid, when you guys say whatever, yeah, like part of that responsibility of how people respond to that is onto you. And you can't just pretend that because Destiny has a bigger platform, oh, now it's abusive if he's not doing a perfect job at regulating it. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
No comment.
I gotta go.
I don't think Steven making something up that I didn't say is
Hold
really
on, bye Pixie. Can we get another
I don't think that's me saying he's not doing a perfect job at regulating it. I'm saying he literally just made something up that I didn't say.
Bye Pixie. I hope that we're gonna make sure that we get round 2 of you and Mind Waves. Me and the King here are gonna we'll get that going soon. We just gotta get Mind Waves back in the fold. So
there's just something I have to confess to real quick.
Yeah, actually, I think that this would have been the best conversation to ask to have his argument steel-manned. Also, kudos to you for doing that yesterday. That was the best way to get to the heart of whether or not that person understood you. Pixie has no clue. Mr. Girl's stance actually are. Yeah. Her inclusion in this just really felt like she popped in to let Destiny know, like, she's one of the good ones. That's really what it felt like. It didn't feel like she came in to make, like, a super principled stand or anything like that. Maybe that was why I found it hard to listen to. But I don't think she had anything of, like, major substance to say there. She's just sort of, like, picking at it.
Destiny, as your actual employee, that is actually employed by you. I feel so abused by
Stop! You're not contributing anything positive to this. Stop! Leave! Bye. I hope your bees die.
Okay.
I don't know who that
Good.
was.
Now, Lav.
Wait, I want to acknowledge that was like actually like a
No. Hold on.
that was
One
was
thing
good.
at a time.
I think that was nice that you
Great.
did that.
Did what?
Wait,
I think
wait.
yeah,
Who?
I think that was actually very like responsible. I
Oh
think
my
that,
God,
I think that
what is she
that's
talking
literally
about?
what Max is talking about. And I think that if you make like little behaviors like that, I don't think Max is asking for like you to change your whole outlook, but I think that he's just like, I want to see some effort that you are like trying to protect me from being like a lol cow or all these things because
Yeah, it was her saying I'm sick of your shit and also fuck you.
I think he also sees you as his friend. And so to some degree, I think that he wants you to take responsibility for his, not his happiness, but for you to feel like you want to protect someone that you care about. I think
What Mr. Girl's trying to express here and what he wants here, I think, are two different things. What he wants is for Destiny to rise to the occasion here. I think he wants Destiny to go, I have been pretty lax overall. Things certainly get out of hand with my community, and I know that there's more that I could do, and I just really haven't wanted to take the time and effort that it would take to really quell a lot of this stuff. I have a lot of stuff going on. It's pretty hard for me to manage these things, but really, you're right. I could have done more. Max, I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, and it's not going to happen overnight, but I'm willing to hear you out if you can see any ways that I can directly make improvements to it. That's what Mr. Girl wants. But all Mr. Girl's really saying, though, is I think that what Mr. Girl's trying to get out of this is like 20% of that. I think what he's arguing for is like 20% of what I just said.
I think is a very normal human feeling.
I hate to bring it back here.
I can't stand Lav. I think they shut up about what you think.
Because it feels like there's a little bit of dodging and whatnot, but we need to get back to your comments on how Steven handled this situation.
I know you love this.
Oh, I like this song.
Well, yeah, so do you want to avoid it? Because you talked about it on stream. If you don't want to talk about it again because you feel what you said was wrong and incorrect, you can say that. We can move on and say nothing else.
No, it's not that I feel it was like anecdotal in the moment, and it was going to be like, I don't think that, Steven, you realized like that it was going to become bigger than you immediately after it was like platformed and made public. But then it snowballs. And then now a year later, I'm getting hordes of people joining my stream from DGG trying to kick it up with me a year later, someone who was not involved whatsoever. Like, it becomes something that is so much bigger than you that you just like, you need to exert extra effort.
She's talking about,
and
I don't know what she's talking about.
Sucks, but extra effort to make sure that it doesn't get to that point. Like, by explicitly being like, any mention of this in my platform or other people's platform, I don't.
That's a mistake. He absolutely has done that. Would love for it to be just Mr. Girl versus Destiny and the others chipping in. Yeah. I can't believe Lav said that. That's exactly what Destiny has done. If she's talking about Anna, which I think she is, of the Anna situation, like if you talk about this, like you're banned, like that's been a policy several times.
I want to hear it. I don't want to hear you guys be uncharitable to someone. Like I don't know. I think that there were obviously.
Maybe. I don't know what she's talking about though.
You could have handled that.
Maybe.
I wasn't bringing that up as a gotcha, something that you haven't.
I
heard
don't
before.
think there's a single thing I could have done differently. Wrong.
Well, that's not true.
Okay. That seems like an extreme statement.
Well, what do you think he did wrong, Lav? Like you said,
okay, whatever. It was like a small piece of anecdotal evidence. You've been building it up like it was going to be this like extra drama.
Okay, well, this
the problem.
Like
wait, hold on, real quick. The problem that I had was you were on your stream last.
Lab's doing a very poor job at talking about this, though. It's rough to hear.
It's nice saying like, oh, she's like a totally normal person.
No, I said that she was obviously triggered by something.
Hold on, did you not say that she's just a normal person?
I think in her everyday life, she is normal.
What is this? Dude, you are a professional dancer.
Snaky is the term.
No, that's what I said. No, that's what I said. I think that she was triggered by you, and obviously she had a response that her mental illness would, exacerbate. But I think that
like by literally saying that, now you've removed her from the pool of normal people by saying mental illness.
I don't think that that's true. I think everyone has neuroses, but
do you think everyone is mentally ill?
In their own way.
Yes, I love it. Thank you, Liv. That's what I needed. Yes.
Why does Lab have
No,
to?
it's not. It was so good. Oh, yes, I needed that. Thank God. Thank you. Thank you, Lav.
No, I think, but you've got it. She's
I
obviously
just
not
said
the worst,
schools have so
the worst
yeah,
moment that
dude.
she's ever had is not.
Right there, like, Lav schooled herself. It was bad.
Her.
It was hard to
Right?
listen to.
On my stream?
Yeah, like the craziest that she ever acted with you, and she was like crying or whatever. Like that is not how she goes day to day.
Just to
But
be
now
I know
clear,
that.
you said that she was a good person and she was correct in her assumptions of what she said about Steve.
The problem is that if Lav's idea of Anna was 100% accurate, she's still doing a disservice to Anna with how she's talking about it. It's really bad.
He never
God.
said those words ever.
Okay, we can pull up the clip.
Yeah,
Let's
you
see.
can pull up the clip because I never said that she was correct in her assumptions about Steve. I did say
Okay,
that she's
give
a
us
good
20,
person.
give us 30 seconds. I'm muting. We're watching.
Please don't bring her up. She will go off again, Lav. I don't think she will. I think that Anna is actually very normal, and I think that Steven was a trigger for her. But I think she is a very great normal girl, and I don't like the way that you guys talk about her. How do I get terminally online girlfriend? TikTok.
Yeah, you're right. You got me. Like what? I literally told you exactly what I said. Like what? You got me.
What is the implication? I don't understand how you...
What the fuck implication? I said don't come into my stream talking shit about Anna.
Okay, hold on, Lav. Look at me.
No. I'm
Lav,
not.
look at
I'm
me.
not gonna let you live this down.
No, I'm grabbing your face. I just want to have this one, just on this
Yeah,
one
you're
thing.
grabbing my face.
Yes, just on this one thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you point to a conflict between two people and you say on one side, I think that person is incredibly normal. Steven just triggered her, but she's like super normal and great. What do you think is the implication there?
Trigger for her.
What does that mean? Who
It
did?
means that
Who was in the
there's
wrong?
something that-
You were in the wrong.
That's not how I think. That's not how I think. That's how you think.
Can I explain it, Lev?
No, I just want. I
No,
want to
that
know,
makes sense.
what do most people think when they hear
most
that?
important
What is the
part.
implication?
Appeal to most people? How the f- do I know?
Okay, I just want you to say that while you're on here saying Destiny, you need to have the greatest responsibility in the world of mind controlling your whole audience and protecting every single person. And then when it comes to Lav on stream, it's like, how am I supposed to know how the f anybody thinks? I'm not a human. How can you have both positions?
I'm sorry. That is like fully not what I fucking did.
That
That's
was
a joke
exact-
to say that,
That's what
and
you
also
just
to
did.
say that 11,000 people watching is different. Is the same thing as 200 people watching.
It is because you're making a comment about me, and that's gonna reverberate.
Why did she have to, like, if she thinks she's right, why does she have to sidestep it and then talk about audience size? Why can't people just have points and stick to them? It makes you look so dumb. That's it for right now.
Right
Just
around
kinda
my
let it play.
community.
The comment I made about you was just that you triggered her. Come the f on. That
If
is not
somebody
hot take.
triggered somebody else, where does the responsibility generally lie?
The tricky.
The trigger? You didn't necessarily do it on purpose. I didn't say
Triggerer.
that it was malignant or that you did it with malintent.
Malignant?
You obviously just did something that triggered her.
But
You
he
could-
did
could have been-
something.
it could have been unbeknownst to you. That's how relationships
Unbeknownst.
work. We trigger each other.
But it was his
What?
fault. It was an action that he
No,
took that
it was
caused it.
nobody's fault.
It was nobody's fault. Hallelujah.
This is why. Sorry, I had to say it. This is sneaky behavior. This
No,
is
I-
why.
I-
Okay. I would like to say something. This is what I'm talking about. Where when there's interpersonal conflict, like with Stardust. Okay, I'm having a big fight with Stardust on my stream. Stardust is not defined as a crazy, mentally ill psychopath. There's no dog pile. There's no Stardust is like a terrible person. There's no she's an insane, crazy stalker who can't let this go. I don't talk about her that way, and my community doesn't talk about her.
Well, because
that way.
I don't think Stardust acted that way. She definitely made a huge fucking mistake.
Now Destiny's being bad faith. When Mr. Girl is saying that even if all those things were true, I would not allow people to talk like that about her if I'm letting her on my platform. That's what he's saying. I feel very confident that Destiny knows that.
And it was definitely cringe. You're definitely right color on that, but
Stardust tweeted out a video of me exposing my stomach and then said it was my pubic hair and then blurred it so that you couldn't see what it was.
yeah, that's really bad. But that's far different than 1 to 2 years of extra online accusations.
Okay,
I'm not saying I'm not
fine.
absolving her.
I'm just saying that in the way I talk about people, in the way people are defined on my stream, there doesn't have to be a bad guy.
Okay, well, in my stream, when Anna, like, 1 week ago was saying I sexually abused her, I'm gonna go ahead and say there's a bad guy there, okay? I think I might have the right to do that.
Yeah, well, Stardust a week ago was saying I sexually abused her, and I'm saying...
And this is why I said yesterday, I think that... So Destiny has hit the strongest part of Destiny's point here is that almost everybody is going to behave similarly to how Destiny is. Almost every single person in the world, if they're falsely accused of anything bad sexually towards anybody, is going to paint the person, especially if it's not true, which I don't know if Destiny thinks it's not true or what. So I do think there was some sexual misconduct for sure. But if he thinks if you think you're in the right, you're going to paint the other person as bad. Mr. Girl didn't do that, which is insane. Nobody make sure that they're being careful when they talk about the other person. Nobody more or less defends that person. It's crazy how upstanding and like I guess I couldn't think of a better way for him to prove the values that he said in terms of like feminism and like being like for like women's voices, like Me Too stuff and all that. Mr. Girl really fucking knocked it out of the park, and so I don't think he'll ever get the credit that he really deserves for that.
You don't have to do that.
That's great.
And
if Stardust said that about you after 2 years of stalking and harassing you, then I would say you probably could call that out.
It's frustrating for you to watch Live Flounder too. It's rough.
I know, I could.
But you don't want to, that's fine. But that's your platform. That's what you can do on your platform.
Can. I know. Okay, so we have different platforms. We already agreed that my channel is different from yours. We already understand that. The point I'm making is I'm trying to explain what Lav is saying to you. What Lav is saying is that there doesn't have to be an explanation that either you or Anna is a mentally ill, terrible person.
There kind of needs to be. Because if both sides are making strong claims, for you to sit in the middle, like, obviously delegitimizes one side more than...
Mr. Girl literally just gave an example of how it doesn't have to be, though. Because to be fair to Destiny, I think that it is... it's a very, like, commonly accepted thing that, like, you can go after that person if they're falsely accusing you. That is totally fine. I don't think it's totally fine. I think that what Mr. Girl is the correct thing. Although I'd probably say that I wouldn't have been able to assess that and know that that's how I feel about it if I didn't see Mr. Girl's example in doing it. True, he was trying to stand up for everyone in the space, especially the women who have it really bad. Yeah, he didn't even doubt their experience. He said, like, I don't think that they're lying. I think that that's what they actually felt. And having that said, he treated them as if that was true. It's crazy to see somebody do it, but like that's probably how it should be handled.
I think you're thinking like content-wise.
I hate you. You just said that. I hate you. Lav. I need you to say you understand that I hate you.
The super villain's creeping out there a little bit.
Stop. Okay. Lav. It is not. I'm sorry, I don't hate you. It's not.
I don't. Okay.
It's not.
Steven,
no, it's not about.
I don't want to be the bad guy.
No, it's not about content. Okay. If let's say that there was a scenario where one person locked somebody in a fucking basement for 5 years and refused to feed them and beat the shit out of them every day, and then that person comes out and somebody's like, "What do you think about that situation?" You're like, "Man, it was really complicated, and I think somebody just triggered the other one." But like, I wouldn't say that one person was the bad guy there. How do you think the person was locked in the fucking basement with you?
Did you lock Anna in a basement? I must have missed that.
I was locked in the basement of her psychosis. I might even still be there. I'm not entirely sure. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Apparently. Hold on. 1 sec. I'll be back, okay?
Lav, I think you should just bite the bullet and say that if there is a narrative that our general agreement that one person is crazy, and then you talk about the situation in an even-handed way, it's going to come across like you're saying that blame lies in both parties if Blame for the abusive interaction lies with both parties. Now, you might actually think that, and maybe you guys have to have like an argument about that. But I think Steven's saying that her behavior is so bad that to talk about it in a even-handed way is unfair to him.
Sounds accurate.
So I feel like
no, all the complexities of it. I didn't think it was that fucking deep.
Yeah. I mean, I think the way to push back against that is to just say like, I don't think she did lock you in a basement. I think it's more complicated than that. I'm not saying it's your fault or anybody's fault. I'm just saying that I think you participated more in the dynamic.
I think Mr. Girl would have been a good relationship counselor, honestly.
Than you're owning right now.
I do feel that way.
I know.
Shit, I need more water in a second.
I don't think that Steven is in the place right now where he's gonna like hear me say something like that, and I think he's gonna tell me that it's manipulative and sneaky, and I don't want to put myself in that trap.
So you're gonna be manipulative to not get called manipulative, huh?
Not manipulative, but I'm definitely gonna choose my battles, I think. You got me. Oh no, from both sides. This is fucking horrible. I cannot win.
Wow, Lav.
Woman
moment.
I'm about to have.
Moment.
I'm about
woman
to have.
moment.
Oh my
woman
god,
moment.
Max.
Woman moment.
Oh my
I'm just
fucking
kidding.
god.
I'm just kidding.
Basement.
I'm just fucking with you, Lav.
I know you are,
Okay.
but the people
I know, but
watching.
I need the.
Hold on,
I know.
Max,
I
the
need.
people watching.
I know. That's why I said that. I didn't say it for you. I said it for our some of our challenged audience members, so they can keep following along the conversation.
All acting so fucking autistic for what? For what?
Darius, chill.
It's like,
Well, this is the
how
end
are
of
you
it.
gonna repeatedly
Alright, I'm gonna get some water and let this play.
repeatedly say that it's not equivalent. You are constantly being autistic. Constantly. Stardust being autistic once is a completely different realm than you going on stream every fucking day. I wake up and acting like a fucking spurg. Just shut the fuck up. Stop defending her.
Who are you talking to?
Both of you! I don't even know how you're defending her! I don't know how you're defending this thought process! I generally don't f***ing get it! I just don't get it!
Which thought process?
Labs!
Wait, what?
What thought process are you talking about?
When you're saying that it's not, like, when Stardust gets labeled as mentally ill or whatever for these autistic things, and Labs getting, or Anna's getting labeled as mentally ill when it's, like, completely different.
What?
It's not like the same thing. Stardust
He seems to be a bit cross, yeah.
just fucks up, and it's like, okay, we fucked up. She says, oh, I'm sorry. She goes on to say, I'm sorry. She makes cringe jokes because she's a cringer who f***ing gives a fuck. But then Lav goes on, and
I like cringer.
and Anna goes on her stream every day. I'm autistic. Look at me. I do this too. I go, I'm autistic. Guys, I'm autistic. And I do this repeatedly on repeat. So much. And I know what's happening. And sometimes I get upset. Sometimes I tweet about it.
I
Sometimes I
empathize
cry.
with the laugh.
Sometimes
Hey,
I get upset.
that's funny all rounder.
Whatever. But at least I shut the fuck up. You know, I don't go on stream and try to defend myself. I don't act like a fucking spurg every.
I gotta say, I'm pretty sympathetic towards Lav in a lot of situations, but I've never not understood people's animosity towards her.
Day. Just shut the fuck up.
You're saying that because the situation with Anna.
He's saying shut the fuck up. That's really all he's saying.
Lasted so much longer. It's more fair to make a
it's not that it
character
lasted.
assessment.
I mean, I guess, yeah, and it lasted longer. It repeated. It didn't just last longer. It repeated over and over.
So you're saying, therefore, it's more fair to make a character assessment about her than it would be to make a character assessment about Stardust.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's a fine argument, but I
But how did we not think of that at the start? That's what I'm saying. Like, how? I'm retarded. I didn't graduate.
Because it's not really relevant to what I'm talking about. Here's the problem: the more mentally ill somebody is, the less you should be shitting on them on your stream over and over again.
So why the f*** laugh in here?
the problem with calling somebody mentally ill after a two years long protracted public interaction with them is that if you really think they're mentally ill, that actually takes more of the onus away from them and puts it on you as the responsible party.
Yeah,
with
Darius
more,
is
more
annoying.
power, and the person who's making it public and platforming it over and over.
Steven let some fucking schizo retard come in here and talk about how she's getting raped by Discords every day. Nina or whatever. Steven lets anybody come on this fucking stream and talk. It's like it doesn't fucking matter.
Clearly
Here's the
that's
thing.
true.
He just lets niggas talk. I don't think that should be going on. It's whatever it is, what it is. But listen, Steven will do the he wants. He let me yell at Melina. You know, I don't know why the he let me do that, but he did. And it's
Okay.
one thing he does. Why can't we just accept that and move
So
on?
it sounds like you could understand why if you're saying part of the thing you like about him is that he does things that could be portrayed as irresponsible, then you can understand why some of his friends would be calling him out on it.
Sure. But I mean, like, you came into this community and everyone came into this community with already that assumption. The reason why everybody's even here is because Steven's so easy to get on stream with and just start talking about whatever you want, because he just gives that off, because he's sitting there playing video games all day with
Now he's just simping.
no content, and he just lets people kind of just come on and chat.
Yeah, there's upsides to that and there's downsides to it. I think one of the downsides is that once you're in the community, once you're part of the harem, then you start feeling like getting dogpiled repeatedly in this cycle, and like you can be self-referential and like acknowledge it and make jokes about it, but it's fucking terrible to watch your credibility tank every few weeks or every couple months, and have his finger on the scale making it tank. Where he's banning people who defend you, banning people who like you, banning you from the ability to even communicate about it or talk about it in a way where his audience is going to hear it. Or you can come on, but like if you come on, the deck is so stacked against you when you're talking to him anyways. So like, yeah, you can come on, you can be on the show, but eventually your role will be solidified as some form of loser or retard after enough time goes on, and it sucks. And I don't like it, and I don't think it should be that way. So
that does seem to be a trend.
About it.
Yeah, take it up with forethought. I gotta go.
What is it? My turn now? Wait, did I do it?
No, it's Darius. Well, I don't think is Steven even here.
No, he's in the bathroom.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, from a viewer perspective, do you understand that you're basically telling Steven to pull punches to the people he's talking to, and that fucking sucks as a viewer?
You can. Do you think I pull punches?
Yeah, I do think sometimes. I mean, you try to frame things in like an overly charitable way sometimes, and I think kind of the appeal of Steven is like why many people watch him is because we feel like he's gonna be like brutally honest with people. Like nobody wants to watch Steven talk to somebody who's clearly being f***ing stupid and then not saying that they're being stupid. Like that then just feels bad as a viewer.
I think there's probably a way.
Like making an argument about like this is what this person should do because it's more entertaining is probably like the worst route you could possibly go with Mr. Girl. That's like the most bizarre path that I think that you could take. Like how could you possibly think that would land?
To call people stupid in a short term or less meaningful way, but then I think if you're going to do that, you have to give people an ability to fight back. You have to not ban people from the subreddit if you're going to do that. And I think you have to you got to do other stuff to make it more fair if you're going to punch down. But he's not doing any of the other things that you would do to mitigate that either.
But isn't coming on the stream and talking your case the fighting back, right? Like I don't think Steven is going to call people stupid, or at least I don't think the viewers are going to like if Steven calls people stupid when they're not
but
being
he does
stupid, right?
he does so many things to make it impossible to do that. So like
get on stream and talk.
Yeah, you can get on stream and you can make noise with your mouth, but you can't actually get a thought out without somebody interrupting you or somebody derailing you, and Steven derailing from the person who derailed you, or Steven himself saying, yeah, you said we would threaten to rape somebody, and then being like, oh, maybe you wouldn't threaten to rape somebody, I don't know, let's watch the clip. And then you're like, well, the clip didn't say what you said it said. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter.
Though it's worthy to acknowledge that Destiny taking Mr. Girl's advice would mean less entertainment value for the audience. It's an argument that can certainly be made, but it is a bonkers way to try to communicate what you're caring about in that moment to Mr. Girl. It'd be like making more safe for gladiators, which would be more ethical, less entertaining for the audience. Yeah, I just think that I know that Mr. Girl doesn't give a shit about that when it butts up against what he thinks is ethical.
What it said. That doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Just like an endless stream of evasive derailments so that you never actually get to feel like the shit I want to talk to Steven about would probably take 20 minutes if we were off stream.
No. That's insane. Taking 20 minutes to have a conversation? That's actually.
You should watch me have a conversation with somebody who's not actually trying to not understand what I'm saying or who is not able to, and then I think you'll find that I'm actually pretty.
I think that's only something no one's ever seen before, so I'm excited.
I've had 20-minute conversations with him.
It's a fair point, Max, because I think a lot of the people in here just hate you. So it makes it hard.
But wait, hold on. For the people in here that fucking hate him, probably Abba. I think Dan 50-50 and Forethought for sure. But I think Lav is a strong Mr. Girl supporter. I don't hate Max.
Stardust and Cherry also were here.
I don't hate him. I'm equal.
Dan is an agent of chaos, so I think Dan is actually pro Max.
Okay, but Steven, we do acknowledge, Steven, that if we were not on stream, this
maybe Destiny agrees with me.
Be a lot shorter and more concise.
Oh yeah, of course. But you joined when there were like 6 people in here, right?
Yes, that's true. But yeah, I think we both have. I mean, we're not just talking to each other, obviously.
Sure, so. I have no problem with you joining, by the way. But I mean, obviously, you came in with a ton of people here, and then to back up Lav in an argument, so of course it's going to snowball into some crazy shit, right?
Yeah, first mistake. Defending me.
I know.
Unironically,
but I'm just going to say, you're walking into a trap. Don't do it.
Stop. Forethought, leave. Go take care of your bees.
By the way, Max, if that's the solution you wanted, why didn't you just ask Steve? Like, would you say no to that, Steven? Like, if he said, "Hey, do you want to talk about this for like 15 minutes on stream?"
Yeah, that's fine. I think Lav earlier asked if she wanted to talk on stream. I was like, yeah, sure.
No. I know.
Wait, so why don't you just do that if that's what you wanted? I don't understand.
Because
there's
it's
two
important.
there's 2 separate conversations that need to be had. There's a personal conversation that is to have obviously me and Steven or Max and Steven understand each other on a more personal level away from everyone, and then there needs to be a public conversation, unfortunately, because now there's like a third beast where I think that Max and I both feel like we need to be heard to some extent. Lay it on the table, take it or leave it.
Yes, I feel like I'm getting dogpiled, and it's so hard to fight back against because the problem I have is that I have so little ability to write the narrative about.
I've said this quite a few times, and it's been a long time since I've covered this subject. I 100% do think that Destiny has done more to try to appease Mr. Girl than probably anybody else that I've seen. He usually doesn't bend to other people at all. And I think that he valued Mr. Girl's friendship enough to grant a lot of shit that's pretty unheard of from him.
Who I am and what's happening and what role I'm playing, because Steven has 99% of the power. So I am trying to use my 1% to throw my little pebble in the river and say well, I stood up for myself. I tried.
Is it Steven you want to talk to, or is it his community? Right? Because
it's both. It's both. I want the community to see how I am talking to him.
So then ask for a one-on-one conversation on stream. Or?
Yeah. I probably should have done that.
I mean, okay. Well, good luck.
I probably should do it. Steven, do you want to have a one-on-one conversation about this sometime?
Absolutely, whatever you want, buddy. I'm just waiting for.
I thought it came down to they couldn't do that because
it get off by 10 because I can't stay up for 12 fucking hours streaming every day. But yeah, anytime.
All right, I'll DM you. We can set it up.
Gotcha. Any other?
Just don't ruin the stream content, Max. That's all I'm asking.
How did Max ruin?
I think
that it's maximum content.
He's saying he's saying that if you're ethical.
Destiny agreed with me there. This is peak. Now they talking now sounds German or something. Oh, I don't know then.
Well, then it will be less entertaining.
No. What I said was that it feels like what Max is saying is that he wants you to pull punches, Steven, and from the people you're talking to, if they're being really dumb, then he wants you to not call them really dumb because you have a responsibility. And I said that fucking sucks as a viewer. We don't want to see you beat around the bush.
There's probably a way to okay, what I think one thing that Steven that you do that's really devastating is you'll say, I'm ultra charitable to you. I'm being really charitable to you. I'm being really nice to you. You're a dumb fuck.
I think the combination of, I think if there was an acknowledgement that you're like, no, I'm gonna fly off the handle, I say crazy shit that I don't mean, blah blah blah. But I think if you paint yourself as not mean and then you say something really mean, I think that it has the effect of making the mean.
If you say I'm being really charitable right now, it means you're even dumber than what I'm saying.
Mean thing hit like 3 times as hard.
It's kind of a sneaky way to do it.
I'm okay with that. The mean thing should hit 12 times as hard because you've gotten to the point where I'm being mean to you.
That's what we want to see.
If you've gotten to the point where I want to be mean, and I've been so nice, then good, you've earned it.
Okay. So I believe that it may be possible for him to engage in blood sports, Dario, and put measures in place that would counteract the negative psychological effects on the people he's playing with. But I don't feel like any of those are in place right now.
I feel like I watched Steven content for a while, and I feel like that's like an implicit thing. Like when you come on his stream and you have like heated debates with him, like if he thinks you're being really dumb, he's gonna call you dumb, and everybody understand that's what's happens, right? So like,
sure, we can all understand something's happening, and I can still say, well, I think that the way he's doing this is bad for people, and that it should change a little.
Oh, sure, but it sounds like so maybe to use an analogy, right?
I hate when people say sure, but they mean
you're
no.
Saying if you want,
but they mean no.
Do the Walmart thing. You're saying, well, you're coming to work at Walmart and you're a vegan, and then you're telling them, hey, stop selling meat because I think selling meat is immoral. And they're like, well, this fucking Walmart. the point is like that's what people come here for. Like
it could be. I don't think I'm asking for that extreme of a change.
So I think in theory I agree with a lot of what you say about like being ethical and stuff, but I feel like especially in this case with Lav, which was what sprung all of this on, I feel like that's the
Normally this would be true, but Lav's a fucking dumb cunt. That's what he's saying. Also so commendable to see Mr. Girl actually try to make Dario understand after he comes in screaming at the top of his voice. He especially prior to the Destiny bridge burning, he had a really good tranquilizing effect on a lot of people.
I feel like that's pretty
rare.
extreme what you're asking. I feel like everybody who was... But I feel like everybody who's watching the content is feeling that she is being very dumb and like inconsistent in her views.
That's because he is defining her that way. He doesn't have to do that.
That is absolutely not true. But go ahead, carry on.
What I believe.
You're wrong. If that's the case, then why is it that me saying she wasn't dumb for months didn't move my community on it? Here's what happened. For over a month, people are like, Lav is dumb, and I'm like, no, she's not. And then one time I call her a dumb bitch, and they still say Lav is dumb, and you're like, that's your fault, Destiny. How does that make any sense?
I think the whole thing was your fault.
Okay.
Why?
Because I think that Steven is defined as the winner of almost every debate and discussion.
Because it's my stream, of course. And on your stream, people are going to define you as the winner. And okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I know. I understand that. Well, no, that's not true. On my stream, people don't define me as the winner.
Okay, then on my stream, that's not true either, because there's times when my community vehemently disagrees with me. So
yeah, okay.
When Destiny says nobody's community disagrees with them more than him, it's not. Mr. Girls does.
So
Mr. Girls' community fucking hates him.
I think there's a way to do that doesn't throw the other person under the bus, but I think the way you do it or the way your community does it, the way you debate people, I can't define exactly what's happening, but I maybe it's just a thing where you're not proactive about steel manning enough. But I think you can communicate to your community that Lav is dumb without actually explicitly ever saying it.
You kind of
because
lost me
I disagree
there.
with her. Because I've said explicitly multiple times that I don't think she's dumb. And I've snapped at people for saying she is dumb. And not only that, because fuck that. Because honestly, if somebody told me, I don't care what you said, how have you treated her? I have had her on the stream multiple times to have in-depth, fleshed out conversations about what she believes, why she believes the things she believes. And I've explicitly told her, I think these are the problems people have, I do not treat her ever like a stupid person. There are people that I deal with that I treat like stupid people, and she is not one. Like, if you ask my community what my opinion is of Lab, they're either going to say he's a simp or, well, he has a lot of respect for her, I guess, because she's a developing person. No one is going to say, oh, Destiny thinks that she's really fucking stupid. That doesn't make any sense. None of my behavior and none of my words have sold that, ever.
Okay, well, I just disagree with you. I think you own a lot of your community's vitriol towards Lab.
Oh, okay.
And me.
I can't. I don't think I've ever disagreed ever with a statement in my entire life. But
what?
Yeah, and I think the way I'm portraying your
confused me.
community is you've signaled to your community that that's how they should view me.
So, am I just not allowed to share my views of anybody or anything? Like, because if I say something, I imply it, and then it's not good. If people don't like somebody because I've implied something about them that I've said that because of how I view somebody, or
No, I think it's more subtle and complicated than that. I don't think it's that you shouldn't say anything bad about anybody ever, or criticize anybody. I mean,
if I think that the way that you, so here's something I believe. I think that the way that you and Lav conduct conversations, I think resembles a lot of abuse or is abusive. If that's something that I believe, should I just never share that opinion or imply that at all? Is that just something I should never do?
No, you just asked me that. That's not what I'm saying. I think if you're going to say bad things about people, you should give them more leeway to push back. I'm banned from your. I'm banned from your sub, and anybody
who cares
who
about the
defends me is
sub?
banned from your sub.
Any of you are allowed.
I do. Wait, stop. I care about it.
Okay.
Stop. Don't tell me who cares about the sub. You read it. I read it. Everybody read. We all read it. I care about it. I am banned from being able to defend myself. So if you want, you got 99% of all the sway. You have all the power. You get to pummel me, punching down, and then tie my fucking hands behind my back and put duct tape over my mouth to boot. And still, in my last final moments, I'm still getting fucking posts with 700 upvotes. That's how fucking good I am at arguing. That's how good I am at challenging you. That I'm able to fucking fight back even when the odds are stacked against me that much, and you still have to fucking put duct tape over my mouth and cut my throat.
Or maybe
That's
it's just
fucked up.
that a lot of my community disagrees on some things anyway, and it's not actually the massive circle jerk that you think it is.
Dude, you banned me and you banned all my fans. That's
After you declared war on us, and they were astroturfing the fuck out of the sub. Yes.
I can't astroturf your sub. All my fans are just your fans.
But it's my sub. When you guys treat the sub as your own and present it as opinions of like, oh, these are just like, it feels a little bit like astroturfing, of course.
Oh.
And then when you're dictating to me.
Oh, hey, leader, what's up? See, it's all about the subs. The subreddit. Oh, it's not though. Destiny's going to tell Mr. Girl that he'll let him back into the subreddit. That's fine. But he won't agree to protections for other people.
Moderate it, like, so that it maximizes your community's involvement to defend you in my subreddit.
No.
Yeah, of course that's how it feels.
No. It's not because I don't want to maximize my involvement. I want you to not fucking drag me across the coals and then not let me respond. You get to shit
I don't
on
drag
me
you
as much
across
as
the.
you want.
If I was like making Reddit posts shitting on you constantly, I can understand that. But like,
you don't have to. You just say whatever you want about me, and then all of your fucking fans will make 5,000 posts repeating what you said. You know, this is how I know. This is how I know that your community has lost its mind. Somebody made a post the other day that said, "Does anybody else think Mr. Girl's water jar is cringe?" That's how far it's gone.
It's like it's such a low bar.
That's how I know. That's how far it's gone. You guys are lost. But yeah, it's totally duplicitous and bullshit for you to sit there and be.
It is when the push story about why Destiny should give more leeway to people that he is criticizing. It goes back to the subreddit. They just had a whole conversation. It is a piece of this mechanism for sure. This is undoubtable, but it all has to do with there being it also the main focus here is that people Destiny's orbiters are able to be like relentlessly shit on by Destiny's community, and in the main arena where the conversations are happening, it happens to be the subreddit. Like, they can't defend themselves. So, but the whole thing has been about how Destiny treats the orbiters. I think that the subreddit, like, if if it was anywhere else, it would also, if it was happening in the same volume anywhere else, then Mr. would be bringing that up too. I don't think that it's about the subreddit for the sake of the subreddit.
Be like, no, we can all just roll in the mud together, except you don't get to speak in the only forum where you can actually have any effective pushback. If you're gonna define me as your autistic, retarded little brother that needs you to translate for me every time I speak because I'm too mentally ill and too lost and narcissistic to be able to understand how anybody else is thinking or feeling ever, don't you think it would be fair for you to at least let me fucking defend myself a little bit?
Well, the water judge.
It's huge amplification.
Hold on, I need you to add addendums to all of this to defend yourself on the sub, because I let you come on a stream and talk about anything you ever want, ever, at all points in time, always. So don't be like, you never let me defend. I just know you just got banned from the sub. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you let me defend myself on stream, but stream is difficult because you are in control of the flow of the conversation.
Oh, I'm going to one guy you right now. I don't know what that means.
Usually, or there's other people defending you or running interference for you. So on stream, it's not really.
That's not true. What you just said was wrong. First
you're interrupting me right now.
Yeah, of course I am, because you just lied. Sorry, go ahead and finish, and then I'll.
Okay, yeah, but I don't think I'm lying, and you think I am. Guess who the audience is going to agree with?
There is a fact of the matter. We have had one-on-one conversations where no one is running defense. So that is not true, number one. And number two, I don't direct the conversation. When it's a one-on-one conversation, we go wherever you want to go. Like, it literally happens.
It doesn't feel like it.
During the Nazi conversation, did it feel like I was in control for both of those conversations? Okay.
Yeah.
During the Nazi conversation, I felt were pretty evasive, and you're just with the
evasive because you disagreed with me, just to be clear.
No, evasive because you were not answering my fucking questions. Like evasive. Regular, the real meaning of evasive. But it's not. There's an imbalance because it's your stream and your audience. So when you're evasive, it doesn't. Nothing happens. You get to just kind of
the piano is fucking up my head.
If I call you out on it, then I'm looping. But if I'm evasive and you call me out on it, then I was being evasive and you were being smart.
This is accurate.
It's yes, I get to push back on stream, but there ain't nothing like a blank page, just me and my keys and the blank page, and being able to just say what I want without you reframing it in the middle of me saying it, or you changing the subject, me having to chase you down a fucking rabbit hole of whatever, anything that I feel is happening. None of that shit happens. So I think if you're going to talk shit about me and call me a Mr. Gaslighter or whatever the fuck, I think that I should be able to defend myself unimpeded on the subreddit. I think that's fair.
Where are we at, Dan? I gotta take off pretty soon to do this show that I agreed to do 30 minutes ago. So.
What is the show?
It's some fucking show with Alex about red pill dating shit.
Fuck it.
I wasn't allowed yesterday because I was out of town. It's already fucking.
Why do you commit to this cringe shit? Who's on it?
I didn't know I was going to be doing the Avengers for the 5th Infinity War tonight again.
Well, that's what you get when Papa Bear is back in town. You should have known. Real quick, Mr. Girl, your post about saying that you were right about him and normalizing Mick, you believe you were right and that was correct and he did that and that, all that stuff there. There was pushback in that thread. How do you feel about that?
Pushback against Steven?
Your thread, but against you, saying that you're wrong and you're delusional on that thread. Because I think there's a lot of contention with that thread specifically. How do you feel about that thread in general?
I think. What do you mean? That's great. If you disagree with me, then you can respond. I think that's fine. What are you asking me?
The PWF stream where the chicken hated Steven. Where the chick hated Steven. Oh, I didn't actually see that.
Why am I banned from your subreddit?
Because you threatened to delete our subreddit by contacting Reddit admins.
They contacted me.
It doesn't matter. You publicly made a threat. And so if you threaten the existence of the subreddit or do anything to try to destroy my career or my ability to speak on any platform, you get banned from the subreddit.
I can't even defend myself. I'm not even a content creator. I don't even have a platform.
You can defend yourself, but if you threaten the existence, you make an existential threat to get
this is dumb.
Then
I don't like the bad faith dumb
stuff.
stuff.
I don't want you coming in and stirring up shit and then using people's responses to you to get me fucking deplatformed.
I just thought you stood for free speech.
I do. That's why you're banned, because you don't. And you're threatening the platform.
I wish Mr. Girl wouldn't engage with that.
Fucking kill me.
I mean, I was totally tolerant of you or anybody who agrees with you coming in and talking whatever shit you want. But if you're going to go on Steven's stream and threaten to get me banned, then yeah, we have to ban you. But no, you were not banned in retaliation for you banning me. You until then, as I told you in the subreddit, you were more than welcome to come, say whatever you want. But yeah, if you're gonna threaten to get me deplatformed, then like yeah, fuck you, you're banned. As I think if I threaten to get your subreddit deleted, you should ban me. I think that would be totally fair.
You ever imagine yourself doing that?
Calling for me to be fired, like that's fine though, right?
Well, calling for you to be, I said you should either be fired or been given different marching orders. That's not deleting Steven's subreddit. That's just.
Oh, I see. That's so nuanced. So, I was posing an existential
it's
threat.
very simple.
And you are just saying, hey, he could be giving you marching orders, but he should be fucking fired. I see now. I see.
Yes, I think you shouldn't do what you're doing, but I don't think it's really your fault. I think Steven is
those kinds of
you.
I think those kinds of comments are the ones that probably hurt Mr. Girl the most from like the community aspect, like because people are only going to focus on like the worst part of it. They're not going to look at the nuance of that at all. That's like why him and Shed Logic stopped being friends. Because Mr. Girl made a similar comment about Chud Logic, which wasn't him saying like that he should be banned from the platform, but because it was those words were like interlaced with what he was saying, that's all that mattered. It's just a bad idea to use that kind of rhetoric. It's dumb.
Hiding behind your whatever.
He should have used this as the lesson.
I don't really have a personal issue with you,
Mr. Girl.
Yeah.
You want something from someone, and that person's aware of that, which is Steven right now, and he's not giving it to you. Correct?
I don't know. I think he's going to think about it, but so far, no.
I feel like you should use this information to your benefit and then like figure out, I don't know, make assumptions off this. Like sometimes, like, not that this is happening here, but there's a statement I kind of live by in business, and it's like, if you give someone the opportunity, if someone fucks you in a small way, they're only getting ready to fuck you in a big way if you give them the opportunity.
True, Dan.
You feel super passionate about this issue. I feel like if you make your point and if he doesn't agree with you, he just doesn't agree with you. I'm not sure it goes to a stronger level than that. But I don't know, are we going to be here forever? Or what do you think the next step of this is? I guess
for us to have
unfortunately, we already know
face-to-face, one-on-one, not face-to-face, but one-on-one conversation.
Piano makes it so hard to focus.
Do you feel that you'll be able to convince Steven to unban you from the Discord, or not the Discord, the Reddit? Sorry.
I don't think it's not. I think if I asked him to unban me, he'd probably just say yes. I don't think it's about.
I think right now that's not the case. I think you could try it.
Well, I don't know. I've never asked him.
It's probably gonna get abandoned a day or two. Like I'm keeping him permaban. Obviously, I didn't even.
Yeah. It's not. It's the argument is not about whether he is going to unban me. I think if I DM'd him and I was like, dude, like, will you please unban me? He would probably just do it. The question, it's a principled stand. I'm saying you should unban me because of the ethical implications around it, and I'm willing to stay banned as long as you don't agree with that. So
when you say his treatment of, like, it's basically the treatment of orbiters, essentially. Like orbiters are free content, and that he should be more responsible for the people on the stream. And when people are kind of going crazy, not only, well, I don't want to summarize everything you said. Do you think you're going to be able to get him to come around to that view, or are we just kicking the fucking ball down the street a little bit here for another future escalation? Because that's really the big thing.
I don't think Steven is going to make some grand gesture of capitulation.
Only Destiny took Max up for chicken waffles
or
instead.
Make some announcement of like, from now on,
the chicken and waffles memes are so good.
I think it is the most likely outcome is he will probably think about what I'm saying and either make small conscious or unconscious changes to how he treats orbiters or thinks about it down the line, or at least with me. I think it's it's unlikely that it will have no impact, but I don't know how much impact.
You know, when I... Whoa! Hold up, Mr. Girl.
Up,
we
man?
got the original Mr. Moisture in the house. What is up, Sir Orbiter Supreme
been?
himself? You know.
Yes. I've been away for a bit.
That's true. Where have you been?
Where'd you guys go last night?
I really like Wicked Supreme. That's actually what happened. Destiny made some slight concessions and unconscious changes to be more ethical this platform. Yeah, that's true. And also, Destiny, the next time they talk Destiny, does just be like, yeah, I'm gonna ban you from the subreddit. He gave... This is the thing that's like so... I think this is the thing that makes it feel so bad that it happened the way that it did, is that Destiny... earlier, he's ceded more ground to Mr. Girl than like anybody else I've seen in order to maintain the relationship. I think he pretty much promises, if I'm correct, I might be misremembering, but he basically said to Mr. Girl, like, I'll give you all the protections that you're asking for. That's fine. But Mr. Girl wanted it for all the Orbiters. And Destiny said no. I'm pretty sure that's how this goes.
Oh, Domino's?
Luke, Domino's? Oh, you think so poorly of me.
Well, I know times are tough for you, Dan.
No, they're not. They're fine.
Oh, business is a booming?
Yeah, business is booming.
Business is a booming.
I get good pizza. But, you know, in general, things are fine. Had a long talk with Steve about, you know, just all the stress and drama in his life and all the craziness and
I hear
whatnot.
he's playing the piano right now.
Yeah, and
That's
he
nice.
just... He
just kind of hanging out, just chilling. What are you doing awake right now? Isn't it bedtime for you?
It's 9 a.m. Or it's 9 p.m.
Yeah, isn't that bedtime for you?
I'm an old man now,
It's the same
Steve.
time for us, actually.
What do you mean?
Same coast. Well,
I gotta...
Mr. Girl.
Is this over yet? Did you...
What are you
Who
here
won?
for? No one
I don't know.
won.
I just heard everyone's freaking out. I want to know who won.
No one won.
Oh,
We're all
I won.
You know my Jewish
He's
grandfather
wrong.
used to say to me, Dan?
What?
He's gonna do the voice.
When I try to open a door and it's locked, I try another door.
He would say that to me to try to get me to quit screenwriting.
When I try to open a door and if it's locked, I'll try another one.
Yeah, he's saying, like, you know, if you're getting a lot of resistance, you should just go do something
Find a different
else.
door.
You need to work on your Jewish accent. Is this the best one you got?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Dan, your Jewish accent is a Russian.
Here, do yours,
No,
Dan, do yours.
mine is way
Go ahead,
better. First off, his
do it,
sounds just
do
like
it.
a dead and diseased.
Tell us what your grandpa told you, Dan.
Okay.
Go.
When you go to find a door and it's closed, you find another
sounds pretty
one.
Russian.
That's a good
that's
Jewish
like-
accent.
All right, that's
Okay,
acceptable.
that's
Do
not
Japanese now,
like-
Dan.
I definitely hear
that's
the
not how
Russian
my
in it.
grandfather talks. Yeah, my grandfather grew up in the Bronx. He didn't talk like that.
Yeah. Why would you assume that people talk so much? Okay, I need to go do my thing because I hate my life. I
Where
love
you
you
going?
guys. What? I said I'd do a podcast for 45
All right,
minutes
I
ago.
love you too.
Oh, okay.
I'll DM you.
I love you all. I love
so-
everybody in here. And love.
Wait,
She's
Dan,
fun, but I
when's
love
the
you both.
when's
Final
our
fight.
podcast happening, Dan?
Who the fuck knows?
Are you
man?
ready?
Maybe coming up soon.
All
We'll
right,
see.
fellas.
All right. Well, Steven. Bye,
Yep,
Mr.
bye.
Girl.
I love you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Oh. Okay. So before we get to the next one, which is the end, basically. Hear Mr. Girl say I love you to Destiny. Dude. God damn it. I was trying not to think about it. I say this all the time too, but it's not like it's just me either. Like Destiny's community, I see all the time. I miss Mr. Girl. It fucking sucks. It's the content that we deserve. So Alley Cattails sent this to the Discord, and I was interested, so I'm gonna. This is a palate cleanser before we go to the next one.
Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
That's pretty good.
They're eating the dogs.
Oops.
They're eating the dogs. And this is what people on television.
It makes it so much funnier that it actually bops.
There have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television said my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's.
I really like that. That response right there is really good.
It's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but the
television.
people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying the
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs.
I didn't mean to do that.
And this is what people on television. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating. People on television say my dog.
That scream that Hassan did is probably my favorite thing that I've ever seen from him. The scream was pretty good. There are times in my life where I aspire to be that dramatic. Oh no, I actually have to go look for this. God damn it. Yeah, I gotta go look for it. Ugh. Videos. That was a good palate cleanser, though. I liked that a lot. It's fucking wild. It's got to be right around here. It has to be. Bombshell and Destiny that disturbed Mr. Girl. Interested? No, that's happened after. Okay, Destiny reflects on Mr. Girl's up there. Okay. Jesus. Well, I knew we didn't pass because we passed it to read like several other Mr. Girl videos below it. There it is. It's a long video. It's a long video. This 3-hour video has sent tremors out through their communities that are still felt today. Okay. It's been a long journey covering all of these. kind of bummed for a while. It was just like evergreen content to cover it and analyze it. Kind of sad to see it end, but it was fun. So before I start, if you're here, please like the stream, subscribe, and I don't usually say this, but if you could afford it, donate, please. That'd be super duper cool. It would help out a lot in this
Demand about your moderation.
shitty way that I'm in.
Moderation
Almost
style. So
never.
again, I'm giving you.
No.
I don't agree with that. I think that I'm trying to make a point, and you're trying to disintegrate the conversation. So I can't.
Is that still loud enough? It's super loud for me at full volume.
I think the conversation right now is meaningless. Like, is some level of conformity
I
required?
think you have I think you have derailed the conversation.
Okay, I know you hate examples, but I'm going to give examples where I think you're wrong. He lost his YouTuber as an artist, because he is an artist, and he put a lot of effort into that channel, and it's super sad that it got shut down by a bunch of fucking losers. Yeah, so he's feeling bad about that. He's feeling bad because the one community that he can still kind of hold on to that's like growing him a bit has now seemingly turned against him. And then at the behest of seemingly the owner of that community, who he thought was his friend, it seems like now the moderators, everybody, are furthering the aggression against him, and it's not even hitting somebody well. It's like,
Shame, I tried to link a YouTube video for you to react to, but it must not have sent. Oh, you sent it in Discord? I'm limited. Oh, if you sent it in YouTube? No, not this song. Oh, somebody's a little bit behind. YouTube, my YouTube auto mods links. I don't know if it's something I set up a long time ago or if YouTube just automatically does it. I'll look into it, though. The best thing to do is to either put it in the Discord or just DM it to me on Discord and then just say something in the chat. My heart. I just assumed that the growling arachnid is a little bit behind because it said this, not this song. I don't know.
Drilling into his head while he's
responding.
So from his perspective, yeah, I'm sure he's like ultra super mentally, because it seems like literally the whole fucking world is against him in a way that like most people don't experience. So yeah, I'm definitely empathetic towards his position, of course.
You know what? It's gonna be very long. Give me like 1 minute or two. I am gonna try to find something to eat really quick. I'm not going far. I'm still here, but I definitely want to be like front and center doing this one. Oh shit! I forgot I had this. Oh yeah. I know that the person I'm talking about like never watches my stream or anything, but I just want to say that I had I've been really fortunate in the last couple of days. I've had a friend who the other day they took me out to eat, just sort of talked to me because I needed somebody to talk to, and then watched a movie. That was really cool. And then today when I went to go hang out with them, they bought me a bunch of food and shit. It was super cool of them. So I just so I guess I didn't really have a whole lot of ears at the moment outside of streaming. I just want to say that like sometimes people are really fucking cool. That was super unexpected. And then we watched some stand up. It was a cool night, and I had dinner. It was very, very, very cool.
I wanted to talk to you because it feels like
it's great to hear. Yeah, it was one of the craziest things too is that I told them I reached out to a couple people, including like my best friend, about what was going on with me, and like nobody like tried to like come visit or anything, or like tried to like meet up with me or anything. They were like the only one who was like, yeah, come on over. Obviously you need to be around people. Like my best friend was like, I'm sorry to hear, and then the next day he was like, you can talk to me about it if you want to. I was like, I think I want to talk to you. So it's really cool to see some people rise up like that. They're also their roommate is I met the roommate the last time, but I found this time the roommate's like a big Hassan fan, which I've never met anybody in real life that is a fan of any of this. And it was weird because I shit on Hassan a lot, but like it's real life, so I didn't want to be like, I don't want to make fun of somebody in real life for like a thing that they watch. It's different like if you're like terminally online and you're like posting Hassan shit to Twitter and stuff, like I'm probably gonna make fun of you in some way, like poke a little fun, just because I want to. That's just kind of how like this shit goes. But like in real life, I was just like, I don't know how to. It was just weird. I was like, I don't know what to say. I can't really say anything positive. It's really really weird. If you ever run into a Hassan fan in real life, tell me how you handled it. Because I have no idea. It's very, very weird. I assume that nobody watching is a fan of Hassan. But at least he didn't say, I'm a really big fan of his political takes. He just said, I think he's funny. I guess he likes watching his reactions and stuff, which I don't watch them. I have no opinion. I'd be like, bro, Hassan sucks. Given the circumstances, I really didn't want to do that. Is he funny? I don't know. Like, that scream was funny. I thought that scream was really funny. But I have no other context of him being, like, anything that, like, I thought was positive. But the roommate guy, really, really nice guy. Exceptionally nice dude. So I just didn't want to be shitty to him. But like all I could think of was like my brain was like in like meme-tastic overdrive with just like thinking of like funny little things to say about Hassan. But I guess I learned today that Hassan is funny, which is weird. I guess that makes a lot of sense as to why he has such a big audience then. Because if you're funny, I can deal with like bad political takes usually. It's better if I like them. I guess like the perfect alignment would be like really funny and great political takes. You have like Jon Stewart. I'm trying to think of who's funny with bad political takes. Oh yeah, there you go. Like Tony Hinchcliffe, terrible political takes, extremely funny. I really like him. How have things been going with me? Fuck. I guess you don't know. Give me 1 minute. My food beeped. I gotta stir it and put it back in the microwave. Just not good. Not good at all. So, I stirred my food. Yeah, all-rounder said it pretty good. Which is why I have, which is why I'm like actually asking for donos the same way that everybody else does. And I have like a goal up and stuff, and the PayPal link up and all that, just because like everything happened so suddenly. I couldn't think of something else to like help me get by like in such a short period of time. Tomorrow, I was gonna go yesterday, but the streaming was going like super well, and I was actually getting donos, which was probably more helpful than what I would have gotten done yesterday. But today I'm gonna go to DHS and talk to them and see if I can get some like housing vouchers, maybe like a food stamp card or something. While I try to figure things out. I think the next steps is just like I gotta find a job and somewhere to go that doesn't cost me $77 a day. I really wish I could just like hit pause on like everything else and just deal with the wife part, but like life doesn't really work that way. It's just sort of like everything just happened all at once. I don't know where she's at. She won't talk to me. The night before, we were like, I was like super excited. My kid was staying the weekend at a friend's house, and I picked her up from work. We were supposed to go play Magic, and then I had the rest of the night just me and her, and then the whole day Sunday. And I was really looking forward to that because she left for like a day Saturday, but she came back. She's like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. She's like, I left you. Obviously, like, it was the worst time for me to even do that. It was so wrong. All the blah, blah, blah. So I was really looking forward to that weekend time to like, heal together or something. I don't know how to put it. And then, the way she left too is like by tricking me, asking me to pick her up, and then came and got her stuff. I would have stopped her from getting her stuff. It was all like the worst way it could have been. I did find out today that she does still talk to my kid. She's been talking to him, which is better than her not doing that. Yeah, I don't. I feel it is a total betrayal of trust, and I want to say, like, I feel like 95% sure that I just couldn't ever take her back. But like, she's literally the love of my life. So there's possible that my brain breaks, and I make what I think right now would be like a really like unhealthy decision. But I don't think I will. I have little spurts of being mad at, but like mostly, I'll be honest, mostly I miss her. She's my favorite person, and I don't know. No, but she's my kid's favorite parent. They have a super good relationship. And her and I did too, for the most part. So my food just peeped. I'm gonna grab my food, and then we'll play this at least while I'm eating. I'm gonna have my camera off because unless I'm just eating like a little like snack or something, I do that because it feels super weird to me. But I'll still be commenting and pausing and shit. But I'll let it go for now.
Things seem tense.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
No, she's not. I swear to God, I'm not making any of this up. My kid's mom has like stage 3A ovarian cancer, and I've heard she's doing well, like a lot better. But I've also heard maybe that's not true. I tried not to like bug her a whole bunch. She doesn't do anything at all, and so like towards like seeing my kids. So I really don't have a whole lot to say to her. But she's not really in the picture, and she's not doing well. She's much older than you, right? No. So I was with my kid's mom, then my ex-wife, who was like 17 years older than me, and then my wife. That's the order.
I'm upset about a lot of different. What would you say the purpose of this conversation? Should we agree on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's your conversation, so you tell me whatever you want the purpose to be.
I want to I don't like how things are going.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. And it seems like maybe you don't too, in some ways.
I'm just kind of floating on through.
I guess I didn't expect Destiny to have an empathetic response to that. But like, I'm floating on through seems a little bit cold. I think it adds to the idea that he's already made up his mind. Maybe. It's tough because I know he definitely tries to make some concessions in this conversation. I think he's steeled himself to the idea that it's a very real possibility that they might not be friends anymore. But I got my food, so I'll be back in a minute.
Right. Okay, well, I'd like things to change,
I don't know. Do most streamers eat on camera? I don't know. It'd be like if I like dropped food or something, I'd be super self-conscious about it because I already am. It'd just be weird having people watch me.
And I guess worst case scenario is like if I don't like the way working with you is, then I'd like to just be friends.
Okay, gotcha.
So, people keep talking about like me attacking you or like turning into Vosh or Hassan or trying to destroy your career or destroy you somehow, which I don't want. I want things to change, or I basically just setting boundaries. You know, there's like certain stuff happening that I just don't want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this to turn into.
Here's to you both resolving these issues. I'm a big.
You don't want this to turn into say the last thing again? Sorry.
Oh, I just want to add one thing. I just want to thank everybody who's been on any of these streams. Nobody said anything negative or rude about the shit that I've going on. I really appreciate that. And if anybody tries to talk to me, like from like other streamers or anything, if they do that, I'm probably just not going to talk to them. I just don't think that I would engage with any of that. But it sucks hearing him say that. He doesn't want to do anything to hurt Destiny or anything, because I know people pointed to this to say like he was like planning this all along. I still don't think he was trying. His objective wasn't to hurt Destiny. It was to protect other people. But I know that there's going to be some people that'll never ever agree to that.
To a debate.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Can we agree on a premise?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure, go for it. Well, I mean, I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, you could suggest it. We'll see where
I have been dogpiled by your community.
I don't like how sad Mr. Girl sounds already. This fucking sucks.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Okay. Fact 1. 2, I cannot defend myself in the subreddit, nor can other people.
You definitely can't post Civil War and everything. It's pretty hard for other people to, I'd say right now. I think I'd probably agree with that.
Okay. So it is within your subreddit, it is a hands tied behind my back dog pile.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Okay. You could stop that if you wanted to. You could stop the hands tied behind my back part if you wanted to. You could have unbanned me at any point, or you could have told Forethought to stop banning my fans at any point. You have not done that.
Yeah.
Okay. I have posted a total of 9 times in your subreddit. Made posts of my own.
Okay.
Starting 6 months ago. I think my first post was...
Just to be clear, though, he's responded to people's stuff like a whole bunch. And I've had a lot of people say, like, you're responding too much. And I'm just like, I think that whole argument's weird. Some people just use social media more than others, but I don't think how much you reply to people and stuff makes it a problem. Unless, like, what you're doing is a problem. I just don't think the amount itself is... can really be an issue. At least not in my eyes. Somebody wants to form like good coherent argument as to why, I'd be willing to listen to it, but I don't think that it's like makes it be like him taking over the community either.
It's after the doll review. And I that was my first dog pile in the subreddit. And I think I did a AMA Where I was like, I need some control over the narrative, because like that was the first time I felt like you're really just writing a story about me that's like very unfavorable to me, and I was like, okay, I need a way to add my voice to this. You know, it's your subreddit, it's your stream, whatever.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to getting dogpiled in a subreddit, I think that discouraging it is about all I could expect Destiny to do. Like, you would never expect him to like ban anybody for it, right? Otherwise, like, why is he posting in the subreddit if you... Like, the dogpiling in the subreddit is a bad argument. Because, like, why are you in the subreddit to begin with if you don't want people to respond? They have to be able to respond the way that they honestly feel. Whoops, I accidentally clicked my stream.
So since then, I think every time I have felt like you...
Wait, hold on, real quick. Just on that, you said you'd written some posts, right?
Yeah.
9 posts, but you more comment. You're not counting the comments there, right? Just checking.
Right, I've commented a ton.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right, sorry.
But I've only written nine total. 9 times I've been like, I need to tell a story.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't like the story Steven's telling about me. I need to tell my own story. And I think the way you've kind of taken the higher status position in most of our interactions has been okay with me. I noticed it like immediately, but if you usually like there's never a conversation where you do a stream with someone and I come in and I'm like, buddy, Steven, let me tell you how you got to talk to people. Like you did this all wrong. Let me give you some pointers on like how to have a like human conversation. Like you're autistic. Like we don't have conversations like that, right?
Okay.
Do we agree on that?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Premise. Okay. So usually if...
Also, I think that, I'm gonna turn my camera back on. I think it's pretty interesting that, I don't like that my head's getting cut off here. Yeah, there we go. I don't like that, whenever the subreddit gets talked about, it doesn't ever... I don't feel like anybody ever really mentions that. I think that Destiny, like the claims of astroturfing and banning his fans and banning him, I would say this, if anybody... I think that makes you look weak. Unless you can point to some, like, real harm that's being caused. Especially from somebody who says, like, well, I guess never mind. Destiny's walked back to like the good ideas will win out thing, I think. But yeah, it just makes me feel like it's a move out of weakness. I would never really, unless this like I don't think he claimed that anybody was harassing. He just didn't like what they were saying. It's weird.
If we're having a disagreement about communication styles, it's you telling me why you think I did something wrong or spoke to someone the wrong way, and you giving me your advice. And a lot of times it's not.
I just want to be clear. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think every single time it's generally you've come to me for it. I'm not like messaging you like, hey, we need to talk about how you spoke to this person, right?
I don't think so. Like after the Lauren conversation, when you were telling me to rub the cat, like get the cat to roll over before you rub its belly.
I don't think that conversation started with me saying like, hey, you need to come on and we need to talk about how you talk with Lauren, right? Didn't that just
you DM'd me asking me if you could come in and moderate.
Initially I did, because you guys got stuck in on a thing, but...
Okay, right, but there's never been a conversation where I was watching you and then I DM'd you and I was like, Steven, you need a translator.
I don't think you've done it explicitly. You kind of did with the lab stuff, but maybe you
no,
would
that
say
was
that's a little
for
differently,
lab.
because you...
Destiny, or mrgirl came in to help lab, not to help Destiny.
Felt like she was getting dogpiled. Although I could argue there was a translation thing on there, but sure. But I mean, I think for all intents and purposes, yeah. Obviously, there's one way that it tends to go. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. That's okay with. I'm okay with you being my streaming big brother. You know, I'm all right with that. I don't need to be like the expert in our conversations. But sometimes when you come in and say, here's how things are, you'll say it in a way that starts a dogpile against me, or in my point of view, fucks me over somehow. And so it's been very important to me to, in trying to navigate this, figure out like how do I want to talk about other streamers? How do I want to communicate about it? How do I want to talk about like conversations after they happen? Like you've got the pre-talk, you've got the post-talk, you've got the breakdown, you've got the status in the conversation, and you've got the audience on your side. Well, with all that stacked, I've still been kind of okay with like, okay, as long as I can tell my story and have my essay, which are usually well liked, then it feels like I can handle the setup. But now that's been taken away from me. Oh, it was starting to be taken away from me, I think, when Forethought started just banning people for supporting me. And then like the narrative was like, there's a mod with a hate boner against mrgirl, which is obviously chilling, has a chilling effect on support of me. Do you agree with that? Not that it was banned, but that it is not encouraged for sure. Okay, so, I guess what it just comes down to is like, I feel that you are defining me unfavorably, particularly when we're in a disagreement with each other. And if you're gonna do that, I need to be able to be defended somehow. And so I heard what you said earlier where I'm saying that it's intentional and that there's no way I can get around that. Because if you're making the conscious decision to not delete good criticism of yourself, then you must be doing all this consciously. That's a good point. I guess
Sorry, I don't have a whole lot to add right yet. I'm sure it will. I was kind of letting... So I don't remember how this started off very much, so I'm letting the foundations of it come out.
I see it this way. You're not intentionally preventing yourself from like hyper defensive moderation. Like you're not, there's no like separation of powers where you're like trying to stop yourself from impulse banning people, like obviously.
That's the most impulse banning streamer I know of.
So I understand from your perspective, it's that some posts seem like bullshit criticisms of you. But in swearing, like, how does it have 500 upvotes from your own fans if it is truly bullshit criticism? I guess it just...
Do you think that the upvote system is a good way to foster the most intelligent type of conversation you can have on Reddit?
No.
Then why would I use upvotes as an indicator for whether or not criticism is good or bad?
I don't think I was saying good or bad.
You seem to imply that...
He's saying that it's a feeling that is resonant within the community. That's it.
I'm saying some criticism is bullshit, and you're saying, well, how could it possibly be bullshit when it has so many upvotes? And then my question is, do you think upvotes are indicative of whether or not a particular post is good or bad, or criticism is good or bad? And you said, well, probably not.
No, they're indicative of they're indicative of resonance.
Oh, okay. Shit. I didn't know that he was going to use that word.
If a criticism resonates with your own fans, that is an indication that it's probably not bullshit.
Sure, possibly. But I could also just not want that criticism.
Yes. So that's a different idea than the criticism is bullshit.
I guess it depends on what you bullshit. Like, because I wouldn't say the criticism is good or valid is the same as it resonates. There's a lot of things that resonate that I wouldn't care about, right? But sure, we can say that the criticism resonates for sure. That's probably the case.
Yeah, and I think even criticism that resonates, if you're going to create an environment that is fair to your orbiters.
Why am I creating an
So Destiny just sort of, I feel like he fucked himself right there because he always says, "I'll take any criticism from anybody." But then he's also saying like, "I will get rid of some criticisms if I don't like it." It's a pretty staunch contradiction. Jesus. I missed Mr. Destiny conversation. Brother, you're preaching to the choir. I need to get some caffeine going. I don't think I've had any caffeine for this whole stream. Something under my shirt. Okay. I have acquired caffeine now, and we can continue.
Environment that is fair to my orbiters. I don't know what that means.
You're not.
Well, no, or why
That's my
should
whole. I mean, that's my whole.
Yeah, of course. It's not. It's my environment. It's not. I would never say that.
Why
like,
should you?
Yeah, my subreddit is a place where everybody can come for equal representation, have equal access to my community. Like,
that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so
I'm
you
saying...
implied, you said that I'm creating a subreddit that is unfair to a group of people that don't own the subreddit, which seems to imply that I ought to make the subreddit, the contrapositive is, I ought to make the subreddit fair to most or all people. And then what I'm saying is, well,
just orbiters, not all people.
Say
just your
orbiters, yeah. But then my criticism of people, why would I do that? Or why would that ever be my why?
Pardon me.
For two reasons. One, I think it's what's best for us, the orbiters. I think it's immoral to not do that.
What if it was at the detriment to myself? Do I have an obligation to run my community in a way that benefits people that interact with me that I feel is detrimental to myself?
I will answer that, but I don't think it is. I think what you're doing is already detrimental to yourself. So I think the two interests are aligned.
That's what I thought Mr. Girl would say.
Can you provide, like, give me an example for that? Because on the flip side, and I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but on the flip side, I would say that I have one of the most successful communities on Reddit of any content creator, including those that are like 10 times the size of me. So I feel like something is working right.
You have a...
But go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, size-wise. Okay, wait, so what am I arguing that it's in your best interest to...
Well, you seem to be implying that like the moderation decisions that I'm making don't even serve my own interests. Yeah.
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it seems to me that so far the way the subreddit's ran has been wildly successful for the sub.
It is, but compared to what it could be, we don't know. I mean, obviously the sub could be better.
I think that Mr. Girl's taking a bad approach here. Part of making an argument is understanding the audience in which you're speaking to. And in this instance, the audience is Destiny, not like the actual audience.
Yeah, the hypothetical thing you're comparing it to could be, you can't give me any other example of a subreddit that's like that. And in fact, I would even...
That allows...
Yeah, because almost every subreddit that is considered of high quality on Reddit has extensive moderation. Nazi-like moderation, some might even say.
I'm okay with Nazi-like moderation. That's not what I am... That's not what I'm arguing against. I'm arguing against unfair moderation that humiliates your coworkers, colleagues, or underlings, wherever we are. Orbiters.
Underlings. I like underlings.
You have moderation that specifically humiliates your orbiters and generates dog piles against them. A vicious dog pile. So I'm not. It's not the amount of moderation. It's the kind of moderation that I'm against. And it's not that you're intentionally generating dog piles, it's that you're not intentionally trying to prevent them. I think the kind of content you make and the kind of conversations we all have, you would have to go out of your way. You'd have to go above and beyond to protect your orbiters. And I don't think you're doing that. I mean, you're saying you're not doing it. You're saying
probably not. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know if I would, but...
Okay, so the reasons... Well, okay, what am I answering? Why should you? For your own interest? Or am I saying... What would be my take if it was somehow against your interest, but in the interest of your orbiters?
Well, one, I don't actually agree that it is in my interest. I don't think I even agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we can start on that one.
Whether it's in your interest?
Yeah.
A lot of the conversations you have with your orbiters are boring.
Oh, it's that time, isn't it? All right, I'm gonna go for a little bit on this, and then I gotta take my kid to school. It'll probably just end for a bit because I have to go to DHS as well. But if I'm not super duper tired, I'll pick back up when I get back from there. If I am super duper tired, I'll be picking up tomorrow night. Probably similar times. But we'll see. Okay, if you're not in the Discord, you can join. And I always put out a notification. Oh, no, I'm not going yet. I'm not going yet. But in like 30 minutes, I gotta go. So we still got a little bit of time.
People are sycophantic toward you.
You good?
And I think my sense is that you dislike this.
Sorry, 1 second. Are you sure? I know you weren't feeling good yesterday. Feeling better? Oh. You just gonna make yourself tough through it? All right, well, you go ahead and assess it. I trust you. I know you actually like going to school, so if you're telling me you're not feeling good, I believe you.
And I think that comes across in the streams. So while the subreddit health is different from the stream health, I think that if your orbiters feel like they have to suck up to you or become a copy of you or be ultimately a worse version of you, then I think that really impacts the conversations that you're able to have with those people. I mean, I've started using the derogatory term white blood cell when I'm having an argument with you or even a conversation, and they start flooding into the room to just parrot whatever you're saying, and then you're playing video games and they're parroting you, and I'm like, do you like this? Like, how this not like why would you want to surround yourself with people who are afraid to disagree with you? And so do
you think that most people that have my opinions, do you think they're afraid to disagree with me?
I think your orbiters are afraid to disagree with you.
Gotcha. I guess it's possible. I don't know how either of us would prove it, but I think that the answer is probably like a lot more boring, and that's just that they all watch my content. I tend to do the most research on the issues I talk about of most of my orbiters, and then therefore they tend to kind of just have my opinions. There are exceptions to that, but the exceptions are the people that do more research than me, and they do tend to disagree with me on things. Like Roseburst is a good example. He's come on my stream, he's argued with me about things before, and he's disagreed with me things. I think Pisco's disagreed with me about things. Supreme has come on and disagreed about things, because these are people that have specialized knowledge where they've done more research and they've come on and they're like, oh, you're wrong about this. But it seems like they have no problem disagreeing with me ever.
My view is that having orbiters who are also your fans hurts your content.
I mean, do you think that, like...
I think that's kind of a weird way to phrase it. I don't think that could reach Destiny if he says it like that.
Abba is a bad person to jump in and talk to me, or Muda is a bad person to... Like, I think all of my orbiters / fans have disagreed with me, I think, at some point in time. Like,
I don't want to call anyone out specifically. I just want to call out a dynamic that I see where I don't see... I see a filtration. Like, there are people on the internet who are well-spoken, interesting, and have heavy disagreements with you about really big topics that would probably turn into really interesting debates, discussions, high conflict streams where you'd be able to really, really hash things out with people. That I think those people are being turned away. So again, it's not that I'm trying to...
Can we think of, not to put you on the spot, but like, what's like an example of one of these people? I'm super curious. Because like, I'm thinking like Pisco is probably one guy that I
don't think that Mr. Girl should be coming at it from like, it's almost like he's giving him business advice. Which is probably like the worst way to approach this. Because if you have somebody like Destiny who's already like extremely successful, it seems like it would be almost impossible to get them to listen to what you're saying when they've been able to find success doing things the way that they're doing. He should just be coming at it from the very personal like me to you kind of approach that he's been taking like throughout like the last video. It seemed like where he was at in Destiny was pretty responsive to that, because there's no real good like internal mechanism to say like, well, I must be right here. But if you're talking about business, I think like if you're successful, you're gonna feel like, oh, I must be right in how I'm doing these things then, because the way that I'm doing them has brought me success. I want to keep having success, so I'm gonna keep on trusting the mechanism that has gotten me here.
Probably almost, he actually even triggers the f out of me in chat. When I just see him type, I'm already triggered because I already know he's disagreeing with me. And he does it a lot. And I think he's probably one of the most overwhelmingly positively received people in my subreddit. And that's like a high conflict person.
Yeah, that's good. No, I don't want to give an example. I just want to, again, I mean, like, did you disagree with this idea that like you have a lot of sycophantic clones of yourself?
Yeah, I disagree. There are people that definitely they pick up my manners and stuff, but I don't think that it's to the point where they're scared to disagree with me. I don't agree with that dynamic. No.
Okay, so my sense that this like dreadful fog of boredom descends over the stream when somebody comes in to just kind of shoot the shit and agree with you about something. Oh,
that definitely exists, but I don't know if that's because people are scared to disagree with me. I think that's just the nature of like what I do in terms of political conversations. Like I'm going to tend to talk to people that agree with me because the people that heavily disagree with me generally don't want to talk. Like I think that's just like the nature of doing like political content online in general.
Well, I'm saying I think you're contributing. I know that there's a narrative that people who disagree with me don't want to talk to me, but I think this is part of why that's happening.
Okay.
So like the people that like do not want to talk to Destiny, like what Miss Girl's saying is like clearly true. Like if you look at like Vosh and Hassan, maybe they've strayed away from it now, but they've cited like DGG as like a big reason as to why. It's clearly not just Destiny. The community is can be very scary, and like seeing how they went after Mr. Girl, like I'd say quite.
Because if you do disagree with you in a certain way or a certain number of times, you're gonna face a dog pile.
Yeah, I mean that can happen, but I mean like that it's. I mean like there in some ways it's controllable, but in other ways it's like kind of uncontrollable. Like it just depends on what's going on.
Okay, well, I have some suggestions on what I think you could do to protect your orbiters. But you're saying, why is it good for me to protect my orbiters?
Well, now you're not talking about orbiters. Now you're talking to anybody that I can have like conversation with. So, like for instance, I made like there's like a 3-day.
People would become orbiters. Potential. I'm talking about hypothetical.
Well, like so, I have like a 3-day circle jerk rule. So, like I don't want people posting threads for like people days and days, or people like posting successfully. Like just stop. This is like cringe. So, like that's a rule that I've had. I don't know when I started that, but it was in response to people who were like shitting on some people. This is too much. It's like this is too much. But like.
Sure.
There's also going to be people that... So here's the issue. When I talk to people that I massively disagree with, that I have huge disagreements with, chances are my sub is going to have huge disagreements.
What's the verdict? I don't know what that means. You gonna stay home? Okay. The stream will continue. After a little bit, I'll figure out when DHS opens. And I'll check that out.
As well. So, I mean, like, they're... I mean, like, I can tell people to be nicer, but like...
Lay back down, dude.
If I argue
You're good.
with...
I'll call the school after my stream's over, okay?
Theoretically, if me and Lauren Southern argue about immigration
She said nice.
and her hypocrisy...
I wish it was under better circumstances. I know he's not feeling good. Did anything change, or is it just what you're already going through amped up? Gotcha, okay. Alright, get rest, bud.
Related to like immigrating to Australia was a big one that Peace Guard about. My sub is probably gonna shit on her. Like, but I mean, like I could tell people to be nicer, but there's still gonna be a ton of people saying like she's a hypocrite.
Well, that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm not suggesting you tell people to be nicer.
Okay, what do we? Okay, go ahead then. Sorry, I don't know what we're suggesting.
Imagine if you have a debate with Lauren Southern about immigration, and then you ban anyone who agrees with her, and then you ban her.
It would depend on what her and her fans were posting, though. Like I've kind of done that with, like, if Griper is posting my subreddit. If Grover is posting my subreddit about some things, then it's okay-ish, but sometimes it's just like literal sycophants that just show up and like engage in shit that I don't want on my subreddit. It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But I wouldn't ban every single person to defend Fuentes or whatever.
Well, yes, only every single person who bans me. I mean, who defends me.
Well, that's only after the war declaration and everything, but like...
That's fine. I understand I gave you the ammunition needed to justify this, but I still think it's wrong. And I still
hold
think
on, you're making it sound incredibly arbitrary. Like, there were already issues popping up beforehand with, like, the sycophantic, like, defense stuff that I think was, like, irritating. Probably both me and Forethought.
Defining it as sycophantic defense is already smuggling in the premise that you're right and I'm wrong, which is...
Well, isn't that kind of what you've done with my fans? And I feel like the way that you conduct yourself with my sub is kind of pretty similar in terms of, like, the type of defense that I see. In terms of, like...
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
How would I've done with your fan?
Like, the way that you represent... Like, if I... So, fully prepared to be calling this I'm wrong. But I think if you go through my posts in Vosh's subreddit, I think my posts are pretty good. My comments. Usually when I'm responding to people, I'm generally pretty polite. I'm generally like, these are the facts, this is what I feel, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like when I saw your post sometimes in my subreddit, it was literally like, you guys aren't smart enough to understand this. You don't get this like my fans get this. You just don't understand this particular thing. Like, those kinds of defenses, and then the people that see that and then make similar defenses are gonna like, it's gonna breed a certain style of conversation where it's like, I just don't want to see it.
Okay. Saying people are too stupid to understand your arguments is something that you do a lot.
On my stream, yeah. But if I went into I think I've had this exact conversation before. If I went into Vosh's subreddit and I started saying that, I would fully expect to get banned. Like when I post in my subreddit, I'm an actual.
Vosh is your bar.
If I've been posting in my subreddit, I'm a feral monster, and I fully acknowledge that. I'm like it because it's my subreddit. But if I'm posting in other people's subreddits, like okay, well I'm like a guest here, and I'll post it in a way that I wouldn't want to get banned if somebody else was posting my subreddit. Like generally how I function.
Okay, so yeah, I know that's how you function. That's the thing I'm complaining about.
Okay.
That I have to be polite and nice, and you get to tear into me in front of all these people.
Well, I don't think I've ever posted on the subreddit like tearing into you before. Like anything I say is generally done on stream.
You kind of have. You've made some comments. We had a tense comment exchange where you said, maybe if you're getting this feedback after these conversations, then you're the one with a problem.
What was it in reference to?
Some conversation I had that you thought I didn't have right. People were arguing about it, and somebody said, somebody quoted Shaylin's twit longer and said, "It's not true that you can't ask Max to be nice," and then you made fun of that person and, by implication, Shaylin.
I think I would make fun if I remember correctly. Yeah, I probably would. I probably did.
Okay, so I'm just saying it's not true that it's all on stream. You have.
Okay, there are some comments that I do make on my side, but it's pretty rare. It's generally not. I'm generally just talking on stream. Okay. Like I'm
pretty bad to have to be walking shit back this early in the conversation. Just say it.
Like I think at this point, I actually think you've probably posted my subreddit more than I have. I think you've posted like almost, somebody said some 700 comments on my subreddit. I don't think I've posted that much on my subreddit.
Yeah.
But okay.
That's pretty bad.
There's a lot of dogpiles happening, so.
I've been dogpiled on my subreddit way more than you have.
Yeah, but it's different when it's...
Sure, okay, I'm just saying.
That's a really bad comparison. Like, I've been dogpiled on my subreddit way more than you have. Yeah, but you have the power to ban those people, and you do.
Yeah, okay.
So, I feel like we're getting a little lost in the weeds here.
Yeah, go for it.
The last point of contention was, I think, I can imagine a more interesting stream where people who have genuine disagreements with you, and I'm not saying there are none, but I'm saying that your orbit, I think, is mostly, there's a trend of people just kind of soft disagreeing, fake surface level disagreements, drenched in sycophantic dick licking. And I think that does hurt your stream.
Okay, it's possible, but I don't know if like changing the subreddit moderation impacts that at all.
Well, I haven't slept a full night in like 2 weeks. And a lot of that is because of your subreddit. Just endless, I mean, like, man, you ban some criticism that you just don't like in your own subreddit because of how it makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how it would make you feel if you you and anyone who had agreed with you was banned from responding, and for periods of time you are the main topic of the subreddit. It's a really terrible feeling watching your like this story be told about you.
Yeah, obviously I understand what this feels like, right? You certainly understand. I know what this feels like. I've had plenty of subreddits do this to me before. Yeah.
Okay. But it feels worse when it's your friend, and not just friend, but like
almost certainly true.
Professional. We have a professional relationship. Like, you're not just we work together, and this also impacts my work and my career. So
yeah, sure. But I don't know if I would ever I understand we have different ways of dealing with things, and that's totally fine. We can have totally fair to have different values and everything. But I don't think I would ever let my comfort zone extend into somebody else's community. Lauren's community has had pretty awful things to say about me at points. Fuentes' community is atrocious towards me.
I've forgotten how calm it starts off. It's hard for me to not just be like actively listening. I'm aware that I'm not commenting as much, but I'm just like their low energy is sort of transferring, and I'm just like really paying attention to what they're saying. But I'm sure we're gonna get there.
Vosh's community, even at our original separation point and coming back and coming back, has said horrible things about me. But like, even if I'm friends with these people, I can never imagine David. They're like, hey, you need to moderate your community differently because they're saying bad things about me. Like, that's what the community does. If I don't like it, I just wouldn't engage in that community. Like, I'll stop posting. If I feel like I want to argue, I'll go to those communities, I'll have some arguments. But yeah, I'm never telling another person like, you need to change your moderation style because that community is not suiting my needs when it's not my community.
Okay, so we can just back all the way out, and your objection is that I made a suggestion or demand about a subreddit that I do not own.
No, it's more specifically that it feels like you want a subreddit in particular to cater to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you saying that asking you to not ban me and all my supporters is also the same as asking you to cater to me?
In a sense, yeah. It depends on why the supporters were banned, though, of course, right?
I don't know. I think if they break your TOS, then sure, like, ban them. I'm not saying you shouldn't ban anyone who's a supporter of mine, but at this point you're banning people just for being supporters of mine. So it's hard to think of a quality that all supporters of mine would have that would break the terms of your subreddit, unless being a supporter of mine is not allowed, which is the case.
Or I could just feel like there's a certain type of like culture or community brewing that looks to be like really detrimental to my own, and I want to like curb that. Yeah.
Right. That seems to be the case. So if you think it's overstepping, period, to ask you, I just don't know why we're switching to the word cater to. I think we should just say, I'm asking you to not ban me and all my supporters. I feel like
you're asking me to make a moderation decision that's in your best interest. Now, originally we approached this.
I don't think it's
I know
just
what you're saying. Now you're saying, but that's a different argument. But like, yeah, if you want to say like, well, it's not in my best interest, it's in your best interest too. That's one thing. But if it was in my best interest,
I would be asking.
It would just be a conversation about like, oh, well, it's not that I'm like upset or anything. I think your subreddit would be better for everybody. But obviously, you're not coming here to like, I'm trying to increase the power of your brand, and here's my suggestion. I'm super irritated that this particular thing is happening, and this is what I hope you do to remedy my irritation. Is what the conversation essentially is, right?
That's part of it. I think on some level, I feel like I'm trying to save you from yourself. But
well, I mean, no offense, but I've been here for 12 years. I don't need to save it for myself. I'm
see, that's why
hopefully longer. We'll see. But
business angle's bad.
I think that it's generally coming from like a place of like, I'm getting fucked in this community, and I want to unfuck myself in this community, and now I'm going to see.
That is what I'm saying. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
I also genuinely want to save you from yourself.
Okay, fine. But then even before like the declaration of war and everything, like you were of the mind that you wanted explicit changes in the moderation of the community because you felt like
again, I don't know why we're abstracting this to explicit changes or a moderation decision. I think I've been pretty clear. I think that you should not impulse ban people, and I think that should be like enshrined into some sort of agreement with your audience. And I think that forethought, or the way forethought is operating, should either change or he should be fired, because he is just banning people for agreeing with me, even about shit that has nothing to do with you. So it just feels a little dishonest to abstract that into you're asking me to make a moderating decision in your favor. Like if you banned all Jews from your subreddit, that would be also, I would probably complain about it. It would be technically me asking.
So it is that, but at the same time, mrgirl essentially saying like, I would apply this to everybody. I'm not saying this just for me. And I think that's true and accurate. I think he cares about all the orbiters, and he's not just like focused on himself.
Asking you to make a moderating decision in my favor, but it's not really. You wouldn't really frame it like that.
Well, it depends on if Jews were having like a horribly negative impact on my sub. If we started posting like if a Palestinian issue popped up and it was starting to get unbelievably insane, and every other poster was like, I'm a Zionist and this is why we're gonna fucking nuke the Palestinians, fuck all of them. At some point, I might just be like, fuck it, like yeah, I'm just banning all these people. Now, obviously, that wouldn't be okay.
So when you
for
say
Reddit
banning
TOS,
all these people, when you say banning all these people, you mean banning all the people who are posting that, or you're saying if there was someone else who said I'm Jewish in a different conversation about a different topic, you would also ban that person?
I don't know if I would do it in a different topic. It would depend on how far things had escalated.
So there is a point at which you would say, okay, we just have to ban all the Jewish people from the subreddit.
I probably wouldn't do it with Jewish people because that's like an immutable trait. It's a little bit different than explicitly being the fan of a particular person, but.
Okay, so then we can go back to my hypothetical in which if you did ban all Jewish people, I would probably complain about it, and it would technically be me advocating for something in my favor because I would get banned along with them. But I don't think you would make the counter argument. You just can't make moderating suggestions. If I think you're doing something unethical,
well, I wouldn't make the argument there because I wouldn't make the argument there because you're intuition pumping something else. It's way different here, and that's that the unethical thing isn't the mistreatment of you and your fans. It's the mistreatment of Jewish people. So when you're making the comparison, like, well, would you ban all black people? And if I were to suggest that you stop, would that be me advocating for myself and making a moderation request?
Okay.
Well, yeah, but like you're kind of pumping in this other idea of like, well, you're doing something that's obviously wrong, right?
So now you bring us to. You should be able to do whatever you want to me in your subreddit, no matter what. If you do, there's no rule or command or direction or anything you could post about me or anything anyone could post about me where it would be appropriate for me to ask you to make a moderating decision that protects me. It is just inappropriate for me to ask for any protection from your subreddit, regardless of the circumstances or what's happening. I'm overstepping.
You can ask for anything. I think that's fine. There's no reason.
It would be inappropriate for me to demand it.
Yeah, the demand is be like, well, at some point it's we're going to disagree, and then yeah.
Okay, so if you started like photoshopping like nudes of me like getting fucked in the ass by dogs, and this was just like a super popular thing on your subreddit, everybody was doing it, and it got so popular that when people search mrgirl or Max Carson, the first thing that comes up is just photorealistic, perfect shots of me getting fucked by dogs. You're saying that for me to say like, hey, I think maybe you should make like a rule against revenge porn, or like some kind of rule against like, dog photoshops or something.
Yeah, I agree, all rounder.
At that point, you would say, well, you can ask,
now. We should keep
but
a tally.
for you to demand this is overstepping.
This is hard because like it's implying that I'm doing something that's like directly shitting on you while like trying to.
I don't think he's saying it's directly.
While I'd still be receptive to like feedback. But I mean, I guess I would say that like, no, if that's like the memes or that's the way that my community rolls, I mean, like at some point you'd have to decide like, okay, well, I don't think I can be associated with your community if that's how you guys run things. And then I'd have to say, oh, okay, well, I guess that's how it goes.
Sure, but that's not the question I'm asking you. The question I'm asking you is, you've rug pulled this entire conversation because you are now implying that to forcefully ask or demand a friend or colleague to change how they moderate their subreddit, regardless of anything else, is in itself overstepping in an attempt to like take over the subreddit. So
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know if I'd say it's necessarily overstepping or something. But like you can always make a request. There's nothing wrong about making a request.
Yeah, but we're talking about a boundary, like a forceful demand.
Yeah, that can even be a boundary. But at some point, like but I mean, like I wouldn't. I don't know if I would ever acquiesce to somebody else's request for me to change my moderation style. I don't know if I would do that.
Maybe you wouldn't, but that's different. That's a different question from framing it as overstepping or controlling somehow for me to make those requests. So I just want to get you clear on record. Are you saying that it is always overstepping to say, like you keep saying, like, why would I change my moderation style to benefit you? Like, well, because I'm your friend and I work with you, asshole. That's why. Like you can.
That's the strongest argument that he's made so far. That's where he should be focusing in on. Basically, it's obviously the right thing to do. Morally.
So you can say, like, I don't think this merits that, but like I think of the dog example, you probably would change it.
Yeah, for sure, because that doesn't seem like it benefits my community anyway, and I don't know why I would need pictures of you.
But you wouldn't change it for me.
No, I would change it because it's clearly like with my community. Yeah, I always prioritize.
What if it did benefit your community? What if it was really funny? Your community started growing. You were making more money. What if you started making like tons of money, like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars per month?
It's really hard because the example is so unrealistic. But in this case, I would say, yeah, then we keep it. That's just how this community is ran. Yeah.
Okay, so the way your community is ran is that no matter the negative, detrimental effects it has on the mental health of your orbiters or people who work with you, no matter how humiliated or hurt they are by your community, you will not even consider a uniform change to your moderation style that would protect your orbiters from you or your community?
I think it's going to depend on the reasons why it's happening and then how that plays out. But those are two things that could augment. So, for instance, if I had a debate with some girl and she made a lot of dumb points, or this is kind of what we're doing right now, and everybody would just start like posting like, "Oh my God, what a whore! Go open OnlyFans! What a stupid cunt!" I'd probably start banning those because that's not good criticism or valid criticism.
Okay,
yeah,
I know you can come up with an example, but you're framing this as it is.
I don't like that example because that's not what was happening to the Reddit ban that sort of kicked off the whole thing was that guy who was criticizing Destiny for the Fuentes debate that him and mrgirl had, and he had real criticism. Like he wasn't just lobbing like attacks at him. Like he had shit to say. But just that Destiny didn't agree with it. But like, I think you'd be super hard pressed to say that like, it was bad faith. It's just things that that Destiny didn't agree with. So to like equate the kinds of things that he'd go after as being like calling an OnlyFans creator a dumb whore, it seems like Destiny's operating in bad faith here.
You will never capitulate to a demand about your moderation
Almost
style.
never.
So again, I'm giving you almost never.
Yeah.
But you might. Okay, so
well, I'm saying I would, but it's going to be merit based. It's not going to be because like a friend asked me.
I'm not asking you to do it because a friend asked you. I'm trying to present a case to you.
Well, okay, what was the case?
And I'm asking you to view the merits of the case and make a decision on your own. But
okay, wait, what were the?
It's true. One of the reasonings was because I'm your friend, and I'm asking you. But I'm not saying you should do it because the friend is asking you. I don't know how to explain the difference here. If you have a friend that's coming to you and saying like, "Hey, I think you should change this," I think that the idea here is that it's probably not like a bland, meaningless thing that they're critiquing. Is they're probably coming to you with something that they're actually seeing and that they believe in, so it's a lot more worth consideration. But you shouldn't. The thing that persuades you to do it isn't because like the person who asked is a friend. It's just think that when a friend asks you, there's a different kind of consideration that you would give to it. I hope that made sense. I might be explaining it bad.
The merits of the case. We can talk about that. What are the merits of the case? I guess.
Well, I would like to before we could do that. You've rug pulled the conversation because you keep saying.
What if I? Okay, we can go back to the beginning if you want. Or sorry, go ahead, finish.
Okay, the premise of the conversation is that I have a problem with your moderation, and I'm telling you that I think it needs to change in order to protect the mental health of your orbiters and their careers, and your professional relationships with these people, namely me. Mm-hmm. That is the premise. We started talking about it and kind of trying to agree on like a narrative of what's happening, but then after, I don't know, 30 minutes, you said, I would never change my moderation style to benefit someone else or to protect someone else.
Yeah. For the I should say for the sole purpose of If there's other like compelling reasons or arguments, then sure I could. But
so if you're saying basically, no matter what you say, I'm not going to protect you.
Yeah.
No matter. Okay. Well, then I don't know if there's anything to talk about.
Okay.
Because like the merits of it don't matter because you're saying that the request in itself is already out of bounds.
Well, no, that's not true. Like I said, it depends on the merits of the request.
The demand.
It depends on like.
Oh, hey, Growling Arachnid. Welcome to Discord. It's cool to see you in there.
If it's like, so like, let's say there's a whole bunch of people, like, people are making...
So if all you're saying is I will not grant a meritless request, like, I already knew that. That's why I'm arguing that's why I'm presenting my side to you, because I assumed you would think of the merits and then, take it in and take my feedback and think about it. But now you're saying that you will never do it unless it directly benefits you. You will never protect anyone else except you're just like saying you're going to moderate selfishly. It's your community.
Well, yeah, like earlier you were like, oh, I will imagine you do this because I'm your friend. The answer is no, I don't do it because you're my friend. But if you've got like good arguments or good reasons why the moderation should change, then I would change it. Yeah.
My friend is, me being your friend is one of the arguments.
Okay, I don't consider that to be an argument with merit. But if there are other arguments, and I could hear those.
Okay. I think it has merit because...
Well, it doesn't matter what you think. You're trying to convince me. Unless you think you convince me why I should have merit.
Why is he...
I think that's what I'm doing.
Okay, go for it.
That's my...
That seemed weird and petty. I didn't like that at all.
Plan in this sentence.
Cut him off because, like, why would I care what you think? Like, you guys are the ones talking. That's just shitty.
Okay.
I'm not saying I want you to give me a special pass or special treatment because I'm your friend. I'm saying because I'm your friend and presumably you care about me, seeing the detrimental effects of your moderation up close, and because our friendship is part of the content. It's not that we have a professional relationship separate from our friendship. The content is our friendship. So our friendship kind of falls under like what you're doing with your moderation, what you're doing with your stream. So because you're seeing this up close and because everyone is seeing it up close, you're putting this out into the world, I think I can make a moral appeal to you to say like...
Destiny's so fucking cold and harsh. Yeah, but like also that was just like jarringly aggressive.
Like you're kind of like psychologically harming me and care about that, and your caring is part of your content, then I'm not saying that's like a slam dunk case, but it seems like something you should take into account.
Well, it's always something I'll take into account, but...
Okay, so then it does matter that I'm your friend. Like I'm not saying, again, when I say it matters, I'm not saying like
it's not enough. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean that could be part of a thing, but like, yeah, we're gonna need...
Sure, but again, I'm not asking for special treatment because I'm your friend. I'm saying as your friend, I can tell you and show you up close in a way that other people might not be willing to because they're too sycophantic or that just don't have as intimate a relationship with you or are not as willing to express their feelings to you or whatever. Tell you up close, like, that it's pretty bad. And, yeah, I think that should be one thing you take.
Okay.
Okay, but it feels like I want to unpoison the well. For me, for my...
So I don't have to take my kid to school, but I think I have to end the stream for right now. Yeah, the whole time this has been going on, my wife hasn't said a single word to me, and she messaged me, and it's not like anything crazy, but I think that just the weight of her messaging me, I'm having a hard time paying attention. I'll if I'm not back in like 2 hours or something, I'll be back tonight. I'm gonna call it here. Sorry about that. I didn't expect that to happen at all. So yeah, thank you guys for being here and such. We got a long video ahead. There's still like 2.5 hours of this to go, and then when I come back to you after that's over with, I'll still be I'll have stuff like prepared already, but also I'll be taking donos for content suggestions as well. So yeah, that's it for right now. I'll talk to you later.